Hello and welcome to episode 117 of In PS We Trust, a PlayStation podcast. My name's Davey, and as always, with me in person, well, not in person, with me in spirit and across the screen, Fine Wine himself, Mr. Philip Hoy. How are you doing, mate?
Mate, less about me. Look who's in the middle of us. It's goddamn Spencer. He's back.
Praise be the Lord. He has returned. And it is long overdue, mate. So I've missed you a lot. I've missed you a lot now having you on the show. And it feels like you haven't been here for ages, but it's because, audience, we took a couple of weeks off as well. So, it's been a weird summer. It's been a white boy summer. We've been having a good time, getting drunk, getting leery with it. And we haven't been as good at keeping up with the podcast rigmarole. And we're gonna sort that for you. But first, Spence, how you doing, the boy wonder? How does it feel to be back, my friend?
Feels fantastic to be back, lads. It does feel like it's been absolutely ages since I forgot I was on the show. Can't believe you guys are still doing this. It's been fucking years. But yeah, it feels great, mate. Glad to be back. Glad to get into the news.
There's a lot to uncover today. We have an absolute juicer of a show for you today. We are going to go through the normal kind of run of the show, to be honest with you. 117 episodes in, it kind of is what it is. But we do have some news. Now, some of this, I will preface, audience, some of this is probably going to feel a bit old to you, especially if you consume a lot of PlayStation podcasts. You listen to kind of everyone out there. You'll listen to this and think, Christ, isn't this like 3 weeks old? Yeah, probably. It's probably when I started putting the dot together. But there's stuff here that we want to talk about. And the reason why we're not just deleting this news off is because next week, you're going to get another episode. That's right. We may have fucked up and not been there for you in your moment of need. But just like any good father who goes out to get milk and comes back 20 years later when their son is rich and famous, we are there for you when it suits us. And so we're back next week for another episode of In PS We Trust. And
double dip.
With a double dip.
Love
and so
that.
we have even more news for you, which is in the stock, but we are not covering today. So don't worry. You may be thinking to yourself next week when you listen, wow, they're quite timely with this. Well, yeah, it's because we're going weekly for 2 weeks on the bounce. So there you go. So we take away with one hand and then we give back with the other. Not bad.
We'll see. We'll see when we're actually supposed to record next week. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. So I suppose we should really cover off why we've all been absent and what's kind of been going on. Phil, what have you been up to, my friend? What's been happening?
I've been playing Death Stranding, mate, but we'll leave that until you ask me what I've been playing. But what have I been up to? I've just been seeing live music and enjoying myself and drinking far too much with you.
Yeah, it's been pretty much, isn't it? We've been like on a proper gig season. I think this is the most gigs I've ever been to in 1 year, I think. These last couple of months have just been jam-packed. Obviously, we had Download, then Slayer, then Funeral for a Friend. Got a couple more gigs lined up down the pipeline. And whenever there's live music involved, it would be a crime to not get completely bladdered, wouldn't it, And Christ, me and Phil, we're not going to talk about it in what we've been playing, but we spent a good 20-odd quid in the arcades putting House of Dead Scarlet Dawn through the mix.
You can talk about it. Why not? Tell us about the story of bloody House of the Dead.
House of Dead Scarlet
Story?
Dawn. Yeah,
There's the story, mate. It's loose, but it exists.
yeah. It'd be a very short what we've been playing. That's for damn sure if we're talking about that. And that's pretty much all we've been doing. What about yourself, Spence? How have things been, mate? What have you been up to?
Well, I'm in the process of starting a new career, let's say, so a new job. I won't give too much information about it because I don't know if I want people knowing what I'm doing, but maybe in the future, who knows? So that's exciting and terrifying, but mostly exciting. Also, gig season for me. I've been off to freaking every gig as well. Obviously, I was at Slayer with you guys, Funeral with you guys. Our friend of the show, Joseph Thomas, Dayman. I'm always off to gigs with him. And I've got a new missus as well, which I think I've talked about on you. So obviously I'm spending a lot of time with her. And then some other less good stuff, but it's fine. I've had reasons to be away, but now I'm back.
He's back. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
He's back.
Well, guys, I think we've put our apologies out the way. I got a question for you, which my stepson, I think I can say that. It might be a bit too formal at this stage. I'm not exactly married to his mother yet, but we've been together for 2 years now at this point. My stepson posed me a question he wanted me to raise on the podcast today. And I think it's a philosophical question, quite deep, if you will. What came first, the color orange or the fruit, the orange?
That's nuts.
That's class.
There you go. Something that I'd never pondered before. And now, since he asked me that question, I was completely dumbfounded. So I'm hoping that either of you have an answer to this, because I don't know if I actually do.
I've heard a very similar question. It's literally the exact same question, actually. It's just worded differently, which is the fruit named after the color or the color named after the fruit?
But yeah,
And that's
same thing.
basically exact same
really,
thing.
isn't it?
It's just worded different. But I've never actually thought about it, I don't think.
I'm going to go on a whim, and I'm going to say that with the English language, right, I'm just putting a bit of logic behind this. English language, obviously, we weren't speaking this style of English. It was very different, you know, hundreds or even like 1,000 years ago or whatever, right? But to have orange in there, we couldn't have seen an orange for a long time when English was being spoken, right? I don't know when we started trading with like the French. I don't know when that happened. I can't imagine it being early because they were conquering the fuck out of us. And I can't imagine they were bringing oranges over. We definitely can't grow oranges in the UK. So unless it's like a French word like orange, right?
Duck à l'orange.
Yeah, true. They
Maybe
do like
it wasn't
cooking
an
with it.
orange you saw. It was the duck à l'orange that you saw first.
Maybe. But I'm going to go on the basis that I reckon they had a colour for it, and then they saw the fruit. And they were like, that's the same colour as oranges. Why don't we just call it orange?
Okay. All right.
That's my logic.
I've got a rebuttal to that, but go on, Phil.
I was just going to say, are we all agreeing that it came from France? Now,
Well, or
I
Spain.
thought oranges, would be a lot more south, and they would have come along when we were sort of in encountering pirates, because they would always keep oranges and citrus fruits on board to keep away the scurvy. I believe that's somewhat of a fact. There is a pirate character in League of Legends, this is where I get my knowledge from, who eats oranges. Okay?
I know, yeah.
Called Gangplank.
Gangplank.
Yes. So I'm assuming Spanish rather than French, but we could be wrong. We're not a fact-based podcast in any way, are we? We just grab a couple of things from Twitter and say it's truth. But when it comes to stuff like that, we haven't actually researched it. But also my assumption would be that we would have seen things that were orange before oranges. Maybe?
Yeah. Like I'm thinking in my garden at the moment, right? Like there's some like normal flowers that just grow like weeds, right? That you normally pull up or whatever if you want to keep like a nice lawn. But some of those like have orange petals. So surely if they're just growing in my garden willy-nilly, I imagine they were just all over the place, right? Like the color blue, I imagine people saw like,
the
bluebells.
sky.
Wow.
The sky,
okay.
yeah. Hello?
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
Pretty,
all right.
pretty,
bro,
pretty much
this is
first
the-
thing you see when you come out your mum, right, when you were a kid and it wasn't a hospital, right?
Not in the
when
UK,
they were
mate.
born in a field, look straight up, there's blue.
Grey. Nice grey. Nice
Recently,
grey
it's
UK.
been all blue, mate.
True. Maybe they had good summers back then.
Maybe.
Summer baby.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly right. Maybe that's the case. All right, yeah, fair enough. Maybe blue wasn't the right one, and water. Maybe when they saw water and the sea.
Well,
And
water's not really blue. That's just a reflection of the sky.
is that true?
Yeah, it's just water's just transparent. Of course it is. Water's transparent.
What a fact.
Yeah, I don't know. It always fucked me over that because you think like, why is it a different? It's got different hues, right? Like you go to the Caribbean, it's like, or you go to like it's glacier water, and it's like a totally different blue than just normal sky blue. Like when I was in Norway looking at the water, and you like can see straight through it, and it's like mental, like light blue hue. And I was thinking, there's something up with this. This isn't just the sky. It made me question it, But then I don't want to go too deeply down the rabbit hole because next thing I'll be learning about that the ice wall's real and that actually the Earth's flat, some shit like that.
Okay, we were all wrong. Unless Spence, actually, you should have a guess because Davey's gone for France, I've gone for Spain. Where
Mate,
do you think oranges originated?
I had no care about that whatsoever.
Take a
about
guess.
where it came from.
Anywhere you want, other than France and Spain.
I don't know. Fucking Africa, mate.
Should have gone a little bit further into Asia, and specifically the northern region of the northeast Indian Myanmar, apparently, in China. That's where oranges originated. So says the AI overview in Google.
Wow.
So we learn something every day.
I would never put oranges with Asia. Just ever. You know? Like, I think, when I'm thinking of, like, fruits, and I think, oh, over there, the dragon fruit? I don't know.
That's just racist.
I don't know, is it? It's got to get its name from somewhere, right? Like, they wanted some Welsh guy. Maybe it was Welsh. I highly doubt it. I've seen a dragon fruit, way too exotic to
They
grow
grow
in
loads
Welsh
of shit
soil.
over there, mate. They got to grow loads of stuff because the only other thing they got is fish. So they got to
True.
bloody get everything with the fish.
Yeah, maybe. I always find it mental that, like, potatoes just weren't a thing until they went over to America, and they're like, what are these? Well, these are potatoes and sweet potatoes. They're like, what? Let's bring these back. Like, that's the best thing that ever came from America, ever, is the potato. Like, how mental's that? It just was nowhere, and they're like, oh yeah, got potatoes now.
And
Crazy.
why didn't they just call potatoes browns?
There's too many brown things by then, wasn't it? It was like 1600s or 1500s or whatever. Too many browns.
I guess so.
Yeah, like there's wood, wasn't there? There's trees. They weren't like saying, oh, those brown and greens.
Those delicious browns.
Yeah, there's brown
Don't know
and
what I'm
greens.
talking about.
Tell you what, that brings me on to what I was going to say about the actual question at hand, by the way, the colour or the fruit. It's the only fruit that is solely just the name of the colour. Like, obviously you have blueberries, but that's a blueberry, where they've seen a berry and it's blue and they've gone, oh, that's just a blueberry. Whereas orange, it's just orange. You don't call lemons yellows. You don't call apples reds. I feel like the fruit must have come first.
Spencer is an expert on apples, if you remember the big quiz. Quite a
don't.
few episodes ago.
I already don't. What I do?
You just couldn't,
You
couldn't
couldn't
name more than like
name-
one apple type.
Yeah.
You knew
Aren't any,
Granny,
bro.
Granny Smith, and that was it.
Yeah. I think I bought apples last, man.
Never heard of a Brayburn.
What's wild is you said apples are reds and a Granny Smith is green, which is nuts as well. The
Oh,
apple
fuck would I
meta,
know, mate.
he's learned, he's adapting.
I forgot, so I hadn't.
I reckon you should chuck this into AI, mate, and see if it's got an answer for us. What came first, the orange fruit or the orange colour? See if it gives us an answer to end this on.
That
Or
would
do
be
we
the first time ever we have a definitive answer.
Yeah, maybe we don't. Maybe I shall never Google that ever in my life, and I'll just ponder this. Audience, if you want to Google it and let us know the correct answer, then there's a couple of ways that you can reach out to the podcast. The first, you can write into the email, pswetrust@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on any of the socials, all of which are posted beneath the episode itself. So go into the description, see our socials, hit us up, let us know. Where did it... Well, we know it came from China now, apparently. But how did we get the name for it? Were we just lazy? Was everyone lazy? Because it's the same in... I don't know what it is in Spanish, actually. No, it's orange in French, though. Hit us up.
Are they,
Let us know.
hang on, are they straight up just called oranges in Chinese? Like the Chinese word for orange? Or do they have a different name?
Got bound to be something different, aren't they? Like God, fruit, sun, fruit, something like that.
Let
like,
us know. Let us know.
yeah,
Right in. I
never Google
actually, it's going to take a lot of effort to not Google it because I'm really keen to know. So please write in.
yeah, right in. Let us know. And on that note, we shall move it on to what we've been playing.
This time on NPS We Trust. What have the boys been playing?
So, guys, it's been 2 weeks since the last podcast episode, and I'm desperate to know what you've been up to in that time. Spence, as you've been away for a little while, what have you been playing?
Right, well, there's one game that's been taking all my time, but then I've had a few slivers of time where I've played a surprise game, which I'll tell you boys about after my initial game. But the first game, and it's a fucking big one, is fucking Clear Obscure Expedition 30 motherfucking 3. What a game. Fuck me. Davey, I know you've already talked about this, to infinitum, so I won't say too much more, but it's a fucking near perfect game. It's probably one of the close examples of a perfect game I've ever seen. Dating, brilliant. I can't wait to play it again.
Mate, I'm so glad that you played it, and you made Maloon so happy
I
because
bet.
he was like, Phil and Spence need to play this game. Like this game, they have to play this game this year, and at least with 2 out of 3 of us playing it, it's got a strong chance of being up there for potential game of the year for our podcast. You never know, right? You never know. But I mean, just because I've talked about it, as you said, infinitum. I mean, just spill the beans, bro. Like, give me your rating. Just give me your thoughts. How'd you get on with Simon? That's always the big one. Have you even got
Yeah.
that far? Like, what's happened on your playthrough?
Sure. So I've played it. I think now I have 90 hours, but that isn't accurate at all because a lot of that has been I've booted up the game to do something and then haven't been able to do it. So the PS5's just been left on, and in game a lot as well because it's turn based. You don't really need to like quit out the game to leave it running. You can just leave it wherever. So my in-game time is something like 65 hours, which is probably about
Wash.
8 or 10 hours inflated. And then my PlayStation time is 90 hours, which is just mega inflated, where I've just booted it up thinking I had time and I had to do something else. But that being said, I've beaten the game. I beat Simon. I've got a platinum.
Well done, my friend.
that's a
Well
platinum.
done. So I was bigging up Simon quite a lot, saying that he was an absolute nightmare, saying that he, maybe kind of rethink my entire build, my entire strategy, and I had to resort after hours and hours of him whooping my ass to using kind of an exploit, I suppose, in the way I built my team, just to be able to absolutely dominate his ass. How did your experience with Simon go?
Basically exactly the same. So to be fair, he wasn't whipping my ass. There was just a power gap, and it's I can't say it 'cause it's spoilers for the fight, but there's just one thing he does which just makes him so fucking annoying. Well, two things he does which makes him annoying as hell. The one you've already said before, actually, where you can't bring people back. Sucks. Fucking blows. And then the other one is where he takes the things you have, and that's the most I'll say, and just adds them to his health bar, which is fucking bullshit. Makes you waste a whole fucking turn of buffing your guys. Arsehole. But what happened for me was we kind of changed my build anyway when I came over yours and we played some Clear Obscure just to clean up some stuff. So you kind of helped me get stronger anyway. And then when I got to Simon, I was still too weak. So all I did was look up a few like strong pictos. And then I had most of them anyway. I only had to find like 2 or 3.
Nice.
And then I just learnt the Luminas, put them on, and then I was doing like 50 mil, and I one-shot him. So it was class. It was great. Freaking great time. But the whole game itself is a fucking perfect game. There's one issue, 2 issues. I do still have beef about the map that I said, but it's not enough for it to drop a rating. And the other issue is just one of the fucking gestural games you have to play, which is like the raft one, where you have to hit the fucking thing back and forth. Dog shit controls like arse, just not made very well. Everything else, fucking flawless. Perfect game. That's the only 2 things why it's not exactly perfect. But those aren't big enough detriments to stop it being a fucking 10 out of 10.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Brilliant. Brilliant fucking game. And I've already started second run. My missus is playing it and I'm helping her get through it.
Nice.
Class.
10 out of 10. That's really high praise for you, Spence, coming in with Clear Obscure. Now, you say you've got the Platinum Trophy, and the question I normally ask when I don't really know a lot about the game is, for a new person coming into this game, without any sort of experience or knowledge of this game, is there any sort of gotchas that you'd like to warn our viewers, our listeners about? Because, of course, you're both bigging this game up to 10 out of 10s. There's going to be a lot of our listeners now who will want to play this game. Is there anything they should know going into it? Is there anything you want to warn them about to look out for early? Be that a trophy, be that a power-up, be that a shortcut that they miss early on? Is this something you can give the listeners as a little helping hand for their future?
The only real ones, because once you've started the game, nothing's missable. So you can do anything anywhere. But before you leave, there are 2 things you need for the platinum. I don't know if you spoke about them last time, Davey. But before you actually go on your expedition, there's a fight that you can do, which you need for a trophy. And then there's an item that you need to swap a time-specific currency for. I'm trying to say this without spoiling anything. But it's start of the game. You basically just talk around to everyone, and you'll not miss stuff. It's not hard to do everything here. It's not that open of a world. So there's one fight before you leave. Make sure you do that, and there's an option to leave. You don't just accidentally walk somewhere and you're locked. It asks you. So just make sure you don't do that. Find the fight. It's to the right of where you are to finish, and then after that bit, before the next bit, there's an item you need to get. And those are the two things. We're trying to do this as spoiler-free as possible. But there's an item you need to get for the platinum. And then if you don't get them, the one's a ball ache, the item. The mime fight, you could just New Game Plus, I think, and just fight it. And that's a piece of piss. It'd take no time.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the two things I was going to bring up. Those are the only two. So I'll go a little bit more spoilery than Spence because I don't think it's a big thing whatsoever. But yeah, so it's a mime fight right at the start. I missed that on my playthrough, so I had to start New Game Plus to achieve my platinum, which is fine because it's like right at the start, so it's not a big deal. And the other item is you're preparing for the expedition, you're about to go on it, and you have these little games that you can play with people, like quizzes and things like that you can do. It's only 3 of them. And you can get different items. There's like 3 vendors, 3 items you can get. You just got to play the little games that are there and just make sure you get all of them. And that's it. So as long as you do that, you won't miss it. Whereas otherwise, if you miss that one item, then you have to play through the entire game again because it's very late where that's unlocked. So that would be a nightmare. So just make sure you do that before you start. Otherwise, you will have to do a New Game Plus run. Not like as if that would be a bad thing. Like it's pulling at me all the time to go back. And I've managed to avoid slipping into that trap. But I think a lot of that is because I vicariously live for your playthrough, because I think I've watched probably about 15 odd hours, maybe 20 hours of your playthrough, bro. So I think that's what's like stemmed me having to go back. But well done, mate, on getting it, and I'm glad you're coming on 10. I was thinking, I hope you kind of like just for my own sake, like whenever I say something's a 10, it's only happened a few times in this podcast. It's something really special, and I'm glad that it's giving you that same experience. I'm happy for you, mate.
It is, yeah, it is. I'm torn with the same thing you were torn with before, whether it's Ragnarok or Clear Obscure, but I had no need to replay Ragnarok because I knew it was a 10 out of 10. I knew it was the best game on the gen. Now I might need to replay Ragnarok just so I can know how good Clear Obscure is.
Yeah,
I need to beat Ragnarok again. So that's a lot of time. So I don't know if that's happening, but as it stands, I don't know. They're in the same spot. They're both set. They're both tied number 1.
Time will tell. I think it's going to be one of those things that as we get towards the end of the generation in a couple of years' time and we're putting together like a list, I think then it's whichever one has kind of stuck with you even more, and like Rag is burnt in. And Clear Obscure already seems to be getting more and more fonder in my memory the more time I have away from it. So we'll wait and see. But what was the surprise game that you mentioned?
Surprise game. So I've told you guys about my games with friends that me, Carl, and Dan do, where we just play a game together. We've ticked through obviously the Silent Hills and a few other games. I thought you guys might like this one. We're about 2/3 of the way through Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, there we go.
Sick.
Nice.
So quite a ways in. And yeah, it's just quite good, I'd say.
So how far are you? I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about spoilers at this point. This game's like 20 odd years old, more than that. So what was the last thing you done? Done like the Fat Man fight?
Yeah, we've just found out that the big rig itself is a Metal Gear.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Just done
Arsenal gear.
Yeah. So the president's just got capped by Ocelot.
Yep.
And I've got a massive complaint about this game, and it's so stupid, by the way, but it's a massive one that just keeps pissing me off. Fucking when the game starts, your girlfriend is your save fucking person.
Rose, yeah.
Yeah, and immediately, the colonel's like, you got 2 things. You need to save, and for the rest of the mission, please refer to Jack as Raiden. And she's like, got it. Not a single fucking time in the entire playthrough, which has probably been like 7 hours, 8 hours, has she called me Raiden. It's Jack every time. Even when I die, it's Jack. It's freaking pissing me off. She had 2 rules to follow. That was it. That's my critique. That's the only thing that's bumming me out at the minute. Game's great. Game's great otherwise, but I've the proper nitpick. It's pissing me off.
You obviously knew about the twist, right? Going
Yeah,
into
yeah,
this
yeah,
game?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Did you know it was going to happen so quickly?
I think I did. Yeah,
Okay.
because I think I knew it was like the demo was your snake, and then it's immediately following you're not or something. I knew something about it. I'd never played the demo, so I don't know. But I knew it was early on you're riding.
Because that
But
was the big sticking point for a lot of people that picked the game up sort of day one. They were quite shocked by that moment. And I think that's what brought a lot of eyes to this game. But of course, you're playing it now 20 odd years later. And it's because it's such a renowned game. And of course, it's, well, one of my favorite games of all time.
that's true,
definitely.
mate.
Mate, I'll tell you something. There's so many little bits in that game. Have you shot the birds up when you're out on like the top deck or whatever? Have you just shot any of the seagulls?
Shot a few of them. Yeah.
Have you had any phone calls about it?
No phone calls.
Mate, just shoot a load of them, and the phone calls you get are nuts. They're like, "You're a psychopath, right? What the fuck are you doing? You're just killing all these birds." And if you kill like enough of them, well, no, it's not. I think it's just if you're looking up when the birds are flying overhead, you can just get shit on in the face.
Class.
Yeah,
There's
brilliant.
loads of these things. You
I've
thought
seen a
Metal
few
Gear
of them.
1 had lots of Kojima-isms. And of course, I talk about Death Stranding. We're going to probably hear about some Kojima-isms in a minute. Metal Gear 2. A lot of these things.
Loads of them. How are you finding the boss fights in this game? Well, not compared to one because they're so different. It's a totally different gen. It's that huge jump of a gen. Can you
Yeah.
imagine going from you played Metal Gear Solid 1? Can you imagine that going into 2 in like 3 years later and just being like, holy shit! Like having like where you can shoot all the bottles in the bar in the tanker and just like the liquid flows out and stuff. It's just nuts, like the attention to detail in this game. But how are you finding this cast of characters compared to like Foxhound from MGS1?
They're fucking weird, man. They're always weird anyway. But the freaking Dracula guy, what's his name?
Vamp, mate. Vamp, yeah.
Bro. Vamp, mate. He fucking runs on water and runs up the big rig to come freaking get me. I was like, what is this fucking guy? He's just a vampire. We've beaten him as well. I don't know if that was the most recent thing we've done. It might be one of them. But we've gone non-lethal for all the bosses as well. We've tracked everyone.
Great.
And we've found a few of those Kojima-isms as well that you mentioned, Phil. One, namely, being when you're on the Otcon's sister, Emma.
Yep.
When you're chatting to her on the codec, you can press R2 and you hear Raiden's inner monologue in his head, and he's just talking about how much he fancies her, and it's just weird. It's just so strange. But it's I don't know, yeah, it's a weird little thing. And when it first happens, you're like, what the fuck was that? Because you don't even realize what it is. And when you keep listening to it, you realize so strange. And when you're like sneaking, the shit explodes and you've got to like climb on the pipes to get around the rig. And if there's fucking bird shit on them, you just slip off and die. I was like, fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
It was a different time back then, mate. Womanizing
Very.
was just okay to be in games.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And when you had to drag Emma out when she's injured, right? You got to carry her through. How did you do it?
What do you mean, how did I do it?
Well, there's a couple of ways. So I always just trank her immediately and just drag her. I always do that. I always just trank her straight in the face and just drag her. And I find that so much easier than her cowering and like crying and stuff like that. I just think I'm just going to drag you. And so I always do that. Always. Since my first playthrough. Just do that or just give her like, a throw over the shoulder until she gets knocked out and then drag her. But normally I can spare the one trank bullet to be able to do it. Even though, people get pissed off with you for, doing that. How did you do it, mate?
We just did it as intended. I suppose. I mean, every method's intended with fucking Kojima, I assume. But just, just come hold my hand, come this way, and then get on my back. Come on, let's go for a swim. And that was it, mate. And she so weird, by the way. The first codec, when you hear about Emma, Ottocon's like, yeah, she's scared of swimming. She'll never wear a bikini again. And Ronnie goes, damn. I was just like, what the fuck?
Legend,
Crack
mate.
it up. But yeah, that's all we did, mate. Just the natural, easiest, the first to mind way, I guess. I didn't think of tranking her. But of course you can. Why wouldn't you be able to?
Classmate. Really looking forward to seeing how you get on when you beat this and what your thoughts are going to be, because you got some wild stuff to go if you just beat Vamp. It gets pretty nutty. I'll put it that way. I won't give anything away, just not for the audience's sake, but for your sake. I won't give anything
Because I don't
away.
know now. I actually don't know anything.
There you go.
So I'm keen. I'm keen.
Looking forward to it, mate. Actually, as far as you are into MGS2, let's get this out of the way. Because this might put me in a shit mood, but I'm willing to take a chance. Obviously, famously, you gave Metal Gear Solid a 6 out of 10. How are you rating MGS2?
8 out of 10.
Okay.
It just controls better. It's a newer game. That is it. The only hiccups with MGS1 is just it controlled like it was a PS1 game. I didn't get on with it. Mostly I had to play on an emulator. The inputs are dodgy. You know, I think if I was there as a kid when a PS1 was out, I'd have loved it. Alas, you know.
Maybe you should play Twin Snakes.
Maybe to fit. It is just MGS2 controls, isn't it?
More modern.
Yeah.
Worse in every way. Enough said about that. The better. Phil, what about yourself, my friend? Obviously, you've been playing Death Stranding. How are you getting on with it?
Well, Davey, I'm glad you asked, because I've been playing a grand total of 51 hours of Death Stranding 2 on the beach now. I'm on the main map. I won't give that away where I've travelled to. And when I bring up the map, I think I've got to probably about a third of the map, just to put that in context. Okay, so I've been doing literally everything I can and 5-starring every section of the map. I've got 2 more to do before I move on, and I'm at a crucial story point at the moment. But just to give you some highlights of my journey, because there's been some really, really cool bits, and it's not giving away any story, because I think you know these characters from the promotional material that Kojima put out before launch, so you understand who Rainey is, you understand who Tomorrow is. Now, I've met both of those girls. Rainey's really interesting. So she was born with a form of dooms that causes her to trigger timefall wherever she steps outside. So that's kind of an interesting twist to the story. And then with Tomorrow, I don't know what she does just yet because I've only just encountered her. And that was straight after I defeated someone who looks a lot like Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Shit.
So 50 odd hours, and I've only just met him. He arrives in such a cool way, which I won't spoil, which is slightly extended to some of the stuff that Kojima has put out. So there's a lot more to that and a lot more intrigue. But did it explain anything? Nope. Not yet. 51 hours in, don't know who the hell he is, but he's turned up, and yeah, I'd taken him out, and it was quite an interesting fight. It was a really heavy combat section, if you like. I didn't go around sneaking, because at the start you get the option to kind of circumvent some of the enemies, but I just went through and took them out. I went into the fight with my sniper rifle. Of course, I've got the silencer on it because I've 5-starred the Lone Commander, which is a bit of a wink and a nudge that you should do that straight away because it's one of the best weapons in the game. And then I've got the level 2 shotgun, which again is cracked out the arse, and that's got the optional upgrade of the grenade launcher on it. So it's a shotgun with a grenade launcher. Okay, so a lot of your guns will always get grenade launchers afterwards, but this is the shotgun, and it is superb. It's the best weapon for short range, and of course the sniper rifle is just immense when you're just hidden, and you can take people out from across the map and they don't know where the hell you are because it's silenced because of that 5-star that I got with the Lone Commander. There was also a cool bit where I got what's known as a tar cannon. Okay, so you actually plug this cannon into the ground and you can shoot tar. I've been using it to fight forest fires, surprisingly, to save a kangaroo.
What the
So mental.
Now, you thought what you were explaining with Metal Gear Solid 2, quite weird, quite different from most games. I'm saving kangaroos. And I cannot wait to get back to it, guys. Let's be honest. This game just gets better and better and better. Now, the core gameplay is pretty much the same as Death Stranding 1, right? but everything else is just elevated to such an improvement where you're just like, how did I go through this game without all this quality of life that he's just introduced? Now, Davey, I know we were talking about the simplistic, like, can I just play music when I'm out and about? Yes, you can now. Like, it's all those type of things that you can just do, which before kind of felt a little clunky. Like some of the menus, especially when you turned up to the places where you need to do deliveries, you have to take things off of the van, put them back on the van, and that just took a lot of your time up. Now you just park the van outside and you can clearly see everything in your van. There's never swapping items in and out. So that's just eradicated from the game, and it's just a smoother experience. And my excitement hasn't dwindled over the 51 hours that I've been playing it, and I just can't wait to play more. I'm putting every hour I've got spare into this game, and I'm absolutely loving it, guys.
Mate, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. And I shall let you know, I am not going to be far behind you, my friend.
Oh,
I've
wow.
got it.
Oh, shit.
I'm jealous because I don't have a disc.
But yeah,
I don't have anything on my shelf with Death Stranding 2 on. I have the collector's edition.
let me show you.
Have that.
It's very impressive inside. There is nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing.
Is it not even like alternate art if you swap the front?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, there is.
Oh,
Yes, there is. Do you want to see?
There's the hack.
Ah.
That's the same as the collector's edition.
Uh-huh. So that's cool. But yeah, no, nothing else. But no, I'm very, 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 very excited to start. I installed it today. So next episode, next week, I'll be joining you to talk through it. And I've got a feeling my strategy for this game is going to be very different to yours. I got a feeling I'm going to pretty much be mainlining it and then do what I did for Death Stranding 1, probably put it away for an entire console generation and then go back and spend 90 hours 5-starring everything. That's probably what's going to happen, but we'll wait and see. Depends how the gameplay hook grabs me.
Well, if you want any tips of which one's 2 5-star for weapons, I'll let you know early. Because a lot of them you could skip, I think, and it wouldn't ruin the experience. But some, I think, greatly improve your chances when you're in fights and traveling, etc., etc. Oh, I've got weapons for my vehicles.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
That's a new thing as well.
That's cool.
It's really cool. It's really cool. This is like the newest thing I've got. So I've got a big truck and I've got 2 weapon enhancements for my truck. One is like an automatic machine gun. So wherever I go, it just takes out baddies. And then the other one is like a sticky gun. So as soon as I go up to things, it'll just stick onto like a dropped parcel and bring it up and put it into my van. And it's all kind of automated.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
It's really cool. Yeah.
You just drive around and it does it for you.
Pretty much.
That's immense, because that was a huge downside of picking up Lost Cargo on the original game, was having to get out your van all the time and put it in and all that shit. So like you were saying, that quality of life, that's a huge benefit.
With the bike that you do get at the start, that you can just grab things while you're on the bike and just chuck it on the back. But now I'm in the big van, which is a bit slower. You strap a load of batteries to it. It can travel quite a long distance and you need to. Because the place I am is absolutely huge. But getting these sort of upgrades to the van has made the game, really, really smooth to do things. Because up until that point, I would still have to get out of the van to be able to collect that lost cargo. But it's only now 51 hours in for me, and probably about 20 if you're just mainlining things. You can just drive up to things and the van will pretty much do it for you.
See, that's a fucking godsend. Oh man, you've got me so excited for it. And I think for me, like, it's going to be a hard year, I think, when it comes to Game of the Year. Death Stranding on its original release was my number 1 PS4 game for a long time, until Last of Us 2 completely smoked it. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because I loved, even just going back and playing Death Stranding 1, a couple of weeks ago, and in the Platinum, I fell back in love with it again. I loved it so much. So to have all those improvements baked in, it's gonna be tough. The only downside for it this year is it's got Clear Obscure in the way. So if it can get there and like match that, then that's fucking insanely good. So I'll look forward to be able to join you on this conversation next week.
It's just so many games this year, isn't there?
So
we're on a PlayStation podcast and we can't talk about Donkey Kong. I don't think any of us have played that game yet, but all I'm hearing is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would, man. You would. It's Nintendo.
No, but it looks cracked out the arse.
It
looks
does
good,
look great.
man.
I've seen
Looks
gameplay as
very
well.
good.
I've seen it. Does look great. But
Yeah. That would be a thing for us. Like, as soon as Smash gets announced, then our game of the year that year will probably be DK, right? We'll probably like play it, and then we'll be like, Jesus Christ, it's getting fucking amazing. GTA 6 who? so we'll wait and see. But no, mate, I'm really glad. I'm really glad you're enjoying it, and you can tell you are, because for somebody who famously says they don't have enough time, to put 51 hours in is monumental, right? That's far more time than I've put into games over the last couple of weeks. And for me, I've only got one game to talk about, and that is Doom: The Dark Ages. So I am glad to say that I have completed the game now. It took me about 20 hours. I think I did it in about 19, but I'd have to refresh my save and have a look through. Last episode when I talked about it, I said I was playing it on Nightmare difficulty, which was like the hardest kind of base level difficulty you could do. After about 3 levels in of playing on Nightmare difficulty, I did have to turn it down. I turned it down to I turned it down to just hard difficulty, so the one above normal, and that, I think in hindsight, was probably too easy, because I haven't really struggled with it, especially as I've gotten better and better at the flow of combat in this game. I've just smoked everything, and it's been great. It's been like a proper power fantasy, but I did feel like maybe I probably could have done this in Nightmare, So it is kind of taking me away from it a little bit. Now, this game I've been on a roller coaster with, because I was playing it through and I was thinking, yeah, it's great. It's really good. I'm enjoying the combat for it. I quite like the dragon that was put in there. I know famously you didn't enjoy that dragon whatsoever, Phil. I did quite enjoy that.
You enjoyed hugely telegraphed fights and just boring exploration.
Yeah, I like zooming about. I like zooming about on the dragon, and yeah, I just liked going through and finding the secret landing zones. I did really enjoy that. And the way I've been playing it is I've been 100% in every level while I've been doing it. So every mission challenge I've been completing, all the collectibles I get before I leave. So it's just been a nice, straightforward kind of experience, and I've been enjoying it. And the early part of it, I was like, I'm not sure if I like the exploration that's in these levels. I don't know if I do. As time's gone on, I have enjoyed going off and doing that stuff, and it does kind of take away from the flow of it a little bit, but I like being able to see, oh, there's a huge fight over here, I'm going over there and I'm just going to fucking smoke everything. And it's been really engaging in that way. If I hadn't have beaten it, I probably would be telling you that the scale is missing from this game. But the last 4 levels or so, it ramps up and it has so many fucking cool moments, but they're all saved right at the end. Whereas something like Doom Eternal or Doom 2016, they pepper throughout. This, they kind of leave the scale for like the Atlan fight, and they're shit. Those mech fights are just bollocks. They're really, really bad. And they kind of leave it for that. But then towards the end, they're like, you have like one more Atlan fight from where you are, Phil, on chapter 18. You got one more. And that's it. So there's only like 3 of them across the entire game. They're not that bad. There's just moments, and I'm not going to go into it because I know that you're very close to the end of this game, Phil. I would encourage you to just put down a couple of hours and just see the rest of it through, because it sold me back on the game. Because I was like, oh, this is like, I don't know, 7.5 out of 10, something like that. It's good. It's not great. I think I'm coming into it now, I'm probably going to give it a solid 8. I think I'm going to give it a solid 8, 8.5. I think I'd push it that far. It's really good. Like, the ending was great. It proper got my dick hard. And I'm happy to say I've earned the platinum. Ooh, that's a platinum.
Well, I have heard the ending to the game is superb, but I don't think I'm going to lose the flow when it comes to Doom. And especially the story isn't exactly deep in any way. To be honest, it's all passed me by anyway. Some demon thing, some special power on a girl. It's irrelevant to me. I'm the Doomslayer and I'm just there to kill as many things as possible. So that's all I'll do when I need a break from Death Stranding, or when I'm there announcing my platinum for Death Stranding 2, I might go back to it and finish it off, because I did enjoy it. I really did. And I think I need to do it justice and complete that game. And get the platinum, actually, because it's an easy platinum, isn't it? It's a really easy platinum. You basically just have to play the game, people are telling me.
Yeah, you basically just have to do everything. So you have to do all the challenges, you have to do all the weapon masteries, you have to do, you have to just do everything that there is to do. And, it's really straightforward. Everything on the map that's a secret when you're walking around, they highlight on the map, so it's not hard to find them. There's some interesting puzzles that take place for some of these collectibles if you haven't got them. Some, like, quite cool ones. I was saying, like, platforming was missing. There's a couple of levels where they introduce not so much platforming, but actual puzzles to be able to get collectibles. And they're cool. And they like have me scratching my head a little bit, actually. So I was really surprised by that. And I thought that kind of broke up what was becoming very samey when it came to the collectible run on this game. So there is some cool little things that did make me smile. But it's just all about the spectacle, and it's all about just waging war. And there's not a feeling like it when you just get into that flow state and you just absolutely just massacre everything there. And just the parry system is really nice. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's as good as Eternal, but certainly for those that haven't played this game or are sleeping on it or whatever, I'd encourage you to give it a go, especially if you like Doom. I think they shake up the formula well enough to make it distinct from the rest. And ultimately, it's very difficult to iterate on perfection, which is what Eternal was to me. So I think they've done a very good job in differentiating it while still keeping it very true to Doom. And there we go. And that brings what we've been playing to a close. So I think on that note, we shall move it on to the quick news. Quick news.
Quick news, listeners. Welcome, guys. You are here to arguably the best part of the show, where we pick out the latest and greatest from the PlayStation Nation to offer up to your ears. Now, to spice it up, and because we've got Spencer back, we're gonna play a little game, and we're going to play Truth or Lie, where you offer up two different scenarios and we have to work out which one's the truth and which one is the lie. And because Spencer's still writing his truth or lie, I'm going to move straight over to Davey first, so he can give us his first statement and his first bit of quick news.
Okay, so my first, and this is, of course, the lie. When I was a kid, I had an operation on my eye as my eyelids were too droopy. Hence why I have slightly Asian-looking eyes.
Who said that about you?
It was me.
Pretty much like everyone, like all of you. Especially as like...
I've never said that. I've absolutely never
I
said
have
that.
never said that.
Yeah. All right.
I think it, but I've never said it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's even worse. Say it to my
we-
face, bro.
We were only saying it earlier before you joined the Riverside.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Well, they should be, they're at least not droopy now. But come on, lads. Right then, so I've got a bit of a 2-for-1er for you here when it comes to this. And this is Last of Us stuff, right? So again, said at the start, there's going to be some older news in here. This is that older news. So the first thing is that Neil Druckmann will not return to write for The Last of Us Season 3. I assume that means he's not going to be directing as well, because obviously he did a bit of both on Season 2 of The Last of Us. Now, guys, what do you feel about this? And we have not discussed it on this show. What did you think of The Last of Us Season 2 anyway? Because obviously we all loved the game, and we all loved Season 1. What do you think? Phil, I'm going to come across to you first.
Now, I absolutely loved The Last of Us Season 2. And I think, in conversation, we've actually discussed this a little bit. So sorry to steal your thunder, but I completely agree what we agreed on, which was the ones Neil Druckmann was involved in were the highlights of the series. They were the more intense episodes. Now, with him leaving Craig Martinez, I think that's who's writing it, to write Season 3 by himself, it doesn't fill me with confidence, really. But what it does fill me with confidence about is Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, because Neil is going away and concentrating more on the Naughty Dog projects, which, of course, would be Intergalactic, along with his other responsibilities at the studio as head of the creative.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the wise thing to do. Ultimately, that's what his job is, right? To run the studio. He can't just be swanning off all the time to work on The Last of Us when, we need Last of Us 3. to come out at some point. Neil.
Please.
You know, like Jesus Christ, get back in the lab, get back in the studio, and shepherd some of this talent. Right? Like they haven't put anything out this entire generation
Whoa,
so
wow.
far.
They've put out 3 games.
Mate, come on.
The collection's 95 quid.
With the year of our Lord 2025, and the PlayStation 5 generation is 5 years in, and we have had nothing from Naughty Dog. Literally zip, bro. It's mental. PS3 generation, we had fucking 3 Uncharted games and a Last of Us in one gen. And here we are, zippity fucking doodah. Nothing off the Premier Studio. Neil, get your fucking ass off the TV and just get back in there and make some fucking games, bro. We're dying out here, dude. We're desperate. But yeah, I think for me, I do take this as bad news for The Last of Us Season 3, that he's not going to be involved with it. As much as I think for the benefit of games, I personally wasn't overly impressed with Season 2 of The Last of Us. I thought it was all right. I thought it was fine. I just thought, whereas the TV show for Season 1, I think did the first game justice. And I think that it made changes which made sense, and some of the best episodes are things that weren't remotely in the games, you know, like Bill's episode and stuff.
Bill and Frank, yeah.
I think like that, and like how the kind of outbreak happened and making that all clearer, and some of the other little scenes that happened there, like where they had that microbiologist or whatever, and she's sitting in that little cafe in like India or whatever, and the like government grab her in Thailand or whatever it is, and she's like freaking out and knows that it's going to be like game over when this goes everywhere. I think like those scenes were so good in Season 1. And Season 2, there's so much story to tell, and I feel like they didn't do that right. I think that there wasn't enough time to be able to do Ellie's half justice. I think there was too much missed. And the ones that Neil kind of directed or wrote are the ones that were just taken directly from the game, you know, like when they went to the museum and stuff like that. Like, I think like that episode was immense, just as it was in the game, and there was too much kind of removed from it from my take, without enough added in that could replace or add more kind of backstory to what I needed there. So it wasn't bad TV by any means, and I wasn't like, you know, crushed by it or anything, but I just feel like it was a noticeable step down from the first season, which I wasn't kind of expecting. I thought, oh, they're not going to miss here. And I don't think they missed, but they didn't get a headshot. You know? It was like one in the belly. So it's like a slow death.
It was one in the leg.
Yeah.
And then one to the head.
Yeah.
And again to the head. Yeah. Just. You got it after a couple of prompts.
I'll say my Season 2 thoughts first, I think. I thought it was fine. As I like a Last of Us, obviously die hard. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Last of Us fan in the world, but it is my favorite game. Obviously, there are people who they play nothing else, but I very much play other stuff or nothing if I'm out playing golf. There you go. But I really enjoyed Season 2. I thought it was really good. As much as all your grievances with it, Davey, I do agree with. I think it did fall short. I think a lot was cut out and not enough brought in. Like with Season 1, obviously that freaking Bill episode, I cried last time I watched it. I sobbed like a baby last time I watched it because I forgot how much it just hits you, the ending of it. Beautiful season, but I understand the Last of Us 1 was really an 8-hour experience, and they put it in 6 to 8 episodes. It made sense for it to fit everything in. Season 2, it was impossible they were going to get everything in. It's a 30-hour experience. I don't like how much they showed Abby, considering the next season's all about her. So I feel like they should have showed her less to focus more on Ellie so the next season, then it makes sense, rather than try and get us on Abby's side now. I don't know, it's weird, but I had no grievances with it, really. I thought it was great TV. It wasn't as good as the game, but that's fine because I have the game. And, I can play the game if I want the exact Last of Us 2 experience. I don't want the show to be the exact same thing because I want to be able to enjoy both when I could just play the game and get a better experience if they are similar or too similar. So it's fine. Completely fine with me. Neil leaving, also fine with me. It stings. I don't think it's good for the show, but I care more about games than the show, I think. Then I care more about Last of Us 3 and Intergalactic doing well than season 3 of the show doing well. So as much as it is a sting, it's fine. And honestly, kind of welcome news. Even if it does sting on one side, I think it benefits the other side way more.
Yeah, I get you. I think that's the thing about it, isn't it? It's not like as if, if Neil died, then he'd be like, oh, fuck, well, this sucks for, like, everyone.
Yes, peak.
Yeah, grim as fuck. But no, and it's not like as if he's left, Naughty Dog or anything. It's just that he's going back to work. So, yeah, fine, right? It's fine. Well, there you go. Well, we'll leave that where it is for now. But we do have another part to this, which is, and this one was nuts when I saw this, not gonna lie. So Last of Us Part 2, if you've played the game, you know it chops and changes all over the place. There's flashbacks in at kind of key, pivotal emotional points that really kind of resonate or make you feel a certain way around the characters or the actions that you've just done with Ellie or Abby or whoever. What if you don't want to play like that and you want to play it in order? Well, now you can, because they've released a chronological experience update out now. So with that, you start off as it is chronological from the very start of the flashbacks, and you play through those flashbacks in order for the events that they happened, and then play through the game events. From what I've heard, it's fucking bollocks. from what I've heard, it's novel, but it takes away everything that the game actually delivers in its emotional payoffs. Have either of you guys got any interest in going and seeing the chronological experience of The Last of Us Part 2 through?
No. But you did miss out one really important fact around this update. You also got some free skins. And those skins
cool.
are Nathan and Sam Drake. And you can use those in No Return. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, No Return's really good, to be fair. I'm actually buzzing about that.
Yeah, skins are cool. They wouldn't make it into this doc, though, would they?
They would
This
if
doc
they were
is
in
solid,
Helldivers,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually. If it was the boys' skins coming into COD, we'd probably put that in.
Do you see the newest skin added to COD? I don't think we've got it in the doc, so we could just say it.
What?
Fucking-
The fucking American Dad skins?
Roger from American
Roger.
Dad.
It's Roger, yeah. It's
The-
3 robot Roger skin.
People are fuming about this in the COD community, by the way. I know we haven't played this year's COD, but people are saying it's just fucking ridiculous. It's like playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
People
I
fuming
love
about
American
it.
Dad, though, so that's brilliant for me. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. If
Yeah,
there was a Francine one, Jesus.
I probably would have bought the Beavis and Butthead ones so I could play as Cornholio. Like, I probably would have done that, to be fair. I probably would have put my money down for it, but I'm part of the problem. I
Exactly,
spent out
yeah,
for the
yeah.
boys' skins, so, who am I to judge? But anyway, moving it back, we got a definitive no from Phil. What about yourself, Spence?
Not yet. I'll play it,
Oh,
but because it's Last of Us 2, it's a twist on Last of Us 2. I may as well. For me, it's for the people who have already played it.
of course.
You definitely don't fucking play this as your first run because you're just taking everything away. You're taking what makes the game special completely from it. Never do that. But I know everything in Last of Us 2. Seeing it in chronological, is there even really a point? I don't know.
No.
It's just weird. It's just such a weird
No.
update. I think I would play it when Last of Us 3 is coming out, just so I can try it. So I know everything in Last of Us 2. I don't need to play the whole experience as it is again. But I feel like I might try the chronological then. But I don't think it's going to be good. It's going to be fucking, it's bad. Just play, moments happen then for a reason.
It feels like such a low effort, like freebie. Hey guys, come back to our game because you can play it in order. No one's excited about that. It's only the mega fans that are going to force themselves to do this. Now, Spence, you are a mega fan and you will be forcing yourself to do this, but it's not bringing anyone else back. But of course, it didn't really take them a lot of effort, so kind of makes sense to keep people talking about it. We're talking about it now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a free thing on like Last of Us Day, right? So, they didn't have to do anything. They could just put wallpapers out. The skins are cool. I think, to give people just for free that play the game. I think that's nice. Maybe they could just done more of that, and I probably would have been like more happy with it rather than just. I mean, it's certainly not grabbing me. If anything, it turns me off. I don't think I'd ever play it ever like that. It'd be like watching Pulp Fiction and fast forwarding and then rewinding the DVD as you're playing it so that you can have it in chronological. Like, what's the point? Like, if it's made a certain way, right? Like, I really don't understand the logic for it. But hey,
maybe they could have given you a comic book.
Yeah,
because that was welcome.
yeah.
From Returnal, that was what I was referring to.
Yes, yeah. I was with you. Why don't they just fucking do something else? Just do something else, man. Just do
They're trying,
something
man.
else.
They are doing something else. They are. They're in the middle of doing something else as we speak.
The problem is, if this was like Insomniac that were doing this, right, then I could be like, they could have spent their time on bringing Resistance back or something like that. But if anything, Naughty Dog are spending too much time focusing on their older fucking games. Like, if anything, they should probably stop. But, hey, who am I to say? I just want to just fucking put something out, man. I just want them to put something out. Fucking hell. If their next game is out next year, I'm gonna riot, I reckon. I'm gonna riot. If we're doing our Fantasy Critics, Phil, for next year,
we will
and one of us puts it in there, right, and it doesn't come out, I'm gonna riot for whoever is that person that picked that. I'll riot on their behalf. I reckon we just go burn it all down, bro. This fucking
riot starts here.
We'll start it from here. Worldwide movement. Burn it all down. Burn it all down.
Well, our listener base has shot up recently, so we could rally the troops.
Yeah, just fucking ridiculous. Just get them doing something, please, God.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just pirate fucking factions? Like, just do that. Like, that would have got people way more happy.
Why don't our listeners subscribe? Yeah, I guess if we can't get them to do that, they probably aren't going to rally and rebel for us.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe we could do an impassioned speech, though, pal. We'd have time to think about it. Do an impassioned speech, really rally him up, Put the thumbnail as Marvel Tokon, because that's got a lot of people involved. And then just slip it in there. Actually, this isn't Marvel Tokon. This is a 2-hour rant to get you infused about Naughty Dog. But hey ho. Right, well, let's move it on. Spence, going to come across to you for your truth or lie.
Sure. So my truth and or lie. Well, it's one of them. It's not and. My truth or lie. This one is my truth. I have had a finger in my arse on several occasions. Quick news.
Batman couldn't get that at me, bro. Batman couldn't get that at me.
Didn't we all just assume you were into that?
Oh, I did.
Man.
Yeah, I assumed it. I assumed it.
Yeah.
We're finding out today. So, lads and listeners, as always, once again, I am bringing you the new PlayStation Plus games. This time being the PS Plus game catalog for July. It's also the 15th anniversary celebration, so this discount's going all about. Everyone go check it out. Very cool. But in terms for the game catalog, extra and premium, the games are as follows: Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS5, PS4, Abiotic Factor, PS5. That might not be how you say it. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, PS5. Bluey, the video game, PS5, PS4. That one's for Davey. Planet Zoo, PS5. Risk of Rain 2, PS5, PS4. And, there are more. Tropico 6, PS5, PS4. And New World Eternum, PS5. I think that's how that's pronounced. And then
I'd go for that.
I think it's Eternum.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Yeah. And then for the premium, for the classics, we have Twisted Metal 3 and Twisted Metal 4. I hope you're a big fan of those. So, lads, same question as always. What do we fucking think? Any standout games for eye review? I think I usually ask Davey first, so Phil, I'll come to you.
Okay, nice. Well, I've done my normal research when it comes to these games. So let me just run down some Metacritic scores. Cyberpunk 2077, scored a massive 86% Metacritic score. And we all know what that game is because it's been around for yonks. And yeah, is anyone really over the moon to play this now? If you haven't played it by now, why not? But I mean, it is free. So if you haven't, this is probably the time to get on it. Then we've got this really interesting game. So this is the survival crafting experience. How did you pronounce it, Annie?
I said abiotic factor.
We'll go with that then. Abiotic factor. And this releases, I believe, July 22nd. So it's actually out tomorrow. Wow. And we haven't got a Metacritic score for this one. But this experience is a 1 to 6 player in the depths of an underground research facility where you all need to work together. So I think it is a perfect Thursday night game. If only we could pronounce the name of the game. I'm sure we would be downloading it and playing it together if we didn't have the wealth of quality out on the PlayStation that we currently do. So maybe one for the back catalogue. There's also Ghost of New Eden, 78% on Metacritic, and Planet Zoo, 81%. But out of all of those games, and who the hell is playing Planet Zoo? It's a 2019 construction and management simulation game by Frontier Developments. Now, this game is a spiritual successor to Zoo Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon 2. With similar gameplay to Theme Park and Planet Coaster. Now, if your dick's hard, turn off the podcast now. Jesus Christ. If it's not just looking at our faces, that's fine. But if you're hard about Planet Zoo, out you go, because you're not welcome here. Who the hell is playing these types of games on a PlayStation?
In 2025.
Blows my mind.
Trophy hunters, mate. Trophy hunters. What do you mean?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yes, we should be playing the survival crafting experience for 1 to 6 players. Aniphotic factor, we're going to go with. I don't know. We're all messing it up now. Yeah, that would be the game for me to play.
Lovely, mate. Lovely. I think I completely agree with you. How about you, Davey? What are you thinking?
So I got 2 games on here, actually. You were saying about who's Cyberpunk for. Cyberpunk, in our early days of the podcast, when Cyberpunk first came out, it was all the rage, right? Because we were just shitting on it left, right, and center because it was a buggy fucking shit mess. And it's had years and years and years of development, and apparently it's just fucking amazing now. Apparently it's just like absolutely incredible. And it's had new updates all the time. It just had a brand new update which went live like a couple of weeks ago, which added new vehicles and stuff into the mix. I actually do want to check this out. I do want to give it a go. The problem is time's the issue. And I think it's going to be one of those things of, if it's got a long life in the catalogue, I definitely will give it a go. I definitely will. Probably before the end of the year. Because I think it'd be a perfect game I could take on the Portal with me and play and have a great time with, especially after I'm done with Death Stranding, right? If it's on a short release window in the catalogue, there's no chance. Because I've got, as Phil just said, 50 odd hours before I can even get some cool shit in Death Stranding to do. So time's going to be the big problem. But outside of that, I've already installed one of these games onto my PlayStation. And that's Bluey, the video game, baby.
Yeah, it would be.
I love Bluey. Me and Cass love Bluey. We absolutely do. And this is a co-op game. So me and Cass can play Bluey through together and have a great old time. And I know what you're going to ask. I've already looked it up. 2 to 3 hour platinum.
Oh, I don't even know who the fuck they are, mate. Yeah, I'll take the trophy and leave.
It's the younger one. It's little sister. She's class. They're both girls, Bluey and Bingo. And yeah, you can be the older sister if you want, mate. I'll be your little sister in Bingo. Love Bluey, class show. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Me and Cass can have a whale of a time with it. And those are my games. Obviously, with the premium collection, Twisted Metal's cool. I mean, I've got no interest in playing Twisted Metal 3 or 4 at the moment. In fact, I didn't even know there was a 4. I thought it stopped. I thought it was like Twisted Metal 3 and then went Twisted Metal Black. And that was that. So I didn't know 4 even existed until the PlayStation blog showed me this information. But I'm sure there's a grand old reason why I don't remember it back in the day. Probably wasn't that great. So I'm happy leaving that to the side. And when Twisted Metal Black gets added into the service, I'll put that on, that get installed. Because that's fun as hell, that game. But what about yourself, Spence? Where are you going with this list?
See, the issue is I agreed with Phil, but I also agree with you, mate. I might check out Cyberpunk as well, but again, when is the big fucking thing? When? Because I was the biggest hater of Cyberpunk when it came out. Before it came out, everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be 10 out of 10, best game ever made. And I was the only fucking one saying, we've seen fucking nothing. What do you mean? And then when we saw it, it was all fucking lies and the game didn't even run. And PlayStation took it off their store as they should. I feel like I deserve to give this game a better chance because I played it on release on my shit computer, which barely runs Chrome now. And I tried playing it then and it crashed. There was T-poses, there was textures not loaded, everything was wrong. And I think it was mostly my computer's fault as opposed to the game's fault. And I'd like to give it a good, honest try. But I also think it's a category of game that I don't really gel with. So I don't know if I'll even enjoy it anyway, but I'd like to give it that fair shot. And I adored Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the anime as well. And I know they're doing season 2 of that, which they shouldn't. It pissed me off to doing that, but I need to give the game a go. Abiotic Factor, 100% a Thursday night game. It's going to be brilliant. I reckon that's going to be a lot of fun. I reckon it's right up all our alleys. I reckon that'll be great. Bluey, I'll get the platinum. Why not? 3 hours. Come on. No reason not to. Bit of fun. And Risk of Rain, too, I think would be a good Thursday night game. Not constantly, though. That's a roguelike where we all kind of pick a different hero. They've all got different abilities. They're all completely different kind of setups. And you just gain items and get stronger. Try go as far as you can. And it's fucking solid. Really hard. So I think it'd be really fun. But it's really hard on computer when you're supposed to be twitchy and shit. I don't know how it's going to play on console. I can't speak for it, but it's definitely worth a shot from all of us, I think. Other than that, that's it. I don't give a shit about the rest. But those 3, great. Pretty good. What do you think for the month, guys? Do you think it's a good month?
Personally, yeah, I do. I really do. I think, Cyberpunk being in there is a big get, but I think it's just something for everyone in here. Even those little fucking weeby dickheads who never moved on from 2000 from playing Team Hospital and all that shit, which, granted, I was one of those kids, but I grew up, right? Peter Pan, being Peter Pan in your fucking mid to late 30s, not a fucking good look. Time to grow up. And Planet Zoo is for the fucking kids out there who don't have a PC. So if you're a fucking loser, you don't have a PC, you just want to raise a fucking zoo, build your own zoo. You could do it in real life. Why the fuck do you need a Planet Zoo console edition? Fuck off. I think there's something for everyone in this mix. And I think there's enough here for me personally that it's a good month. So I'm really happy with this. I think it's a strong month.
Hell yeah. Do you share those thoughts, Phil?
Not really. Am I going to play any of these games? You've got a possibility of me playing the multiplayer with you guys. Possibly. Yeah. But I'm a busy man and I just want to play Death Stranding too. So yeah, not interested really. Pass on this one, unfortunately.
You sound like me, mate. You sound like me when I'm balls deep in a game.
I know.
That's crazy.
I've stepped into your shoes because you've been away for so long, Spence.
I like it, mate. I like it. Maybe we'll start agreeing on stuff too. Who knows? That's class.
That'll be the day.
That'll be the day. But yeah, I think it's just, I mostly agree with Davey. I think it is a strong month. You can't say there isn't something for everyone. You got the class multiplayer experiences. You've got Cyberpunk for your big story game. You've got Bluey for the kids. You've got your nerdy fucking PC games where people are going to plug keyboards and mouses into the PS5s like absolute creatures. And you've got your old Twisted Metals for your racing guys. Brilliant. Lot of fun. I think it's a good month. Although you're right, Phil. We're probably only going to play Abiotic Factor and call it a day. But I think a lot of people will be excited by this. Maybe not us personally, but still really good. But with that done, I think that brings us round to you, Phil. Give us your lie, mate.
Yes, it does. So here is my lie. So when I was a kid, I used to steal cigarettes and sell them. Quick news. So guys, our favourite video games publisher, EA, their leadership wants Battlefield 6 to hit, and get this, 100 million players. Now, this series has been sitting in the gutter for several years, and they're saying this next game has to be done right. As of 2022, the entire franchise hasn't managed to sell 100 million copies. But the EA management up there, they're expecting number 6 to hit the high heights. Now, how are you guys feeling about that? Spencer, I want to come over to you first.
Well, what does it mean? What does it mean? Class, they want that. How are they doing it? What's going to be different? Is this going to be more loot boxes? Less loot boxes? I've not played the other fucking Battlefronts. Battlefield 6. Fucking hell. Yeah, I don't know. How are they going to do it? I don't know.
I guess that's the question on the developers' lips, because
Yeah,
it's
I
come
don't know.
down from the directors, from the big wigs, saying we want the 100 million, the big numbers. They've all gone Dr. Evil on us. Now, Davey, you've used that meme too many times.
I have.
So let's hear it. What's your view on all this?
I think EA, you'd hope they'd learn, right? You'd hope they'd learn. This is famously the publisher who put out a brand new survival horror franchise in Dead Space and decided that to make it as big as the game which can't be mentioned, they were going to make comic book run, 2 animated movies, and 3 games all in the space of 1 console generation in a genre which famously doesn't sell that well, right? Outside of the game which can't be mentioned. And they were pushing for it to sell fucking quad the number that it ever did, which was just outrageous. It would have meant it would have had to have outsold the game which can't be mentioned by like a factor of 2 to 1. And there was just no fucking way it was ever going to do that. You'd hope they'd learn, right? I'm going to go on the basis, and this is very stupid of me to do this, I'm going to go on the basis that they have learned. And the way that they're going to do this, 100 million, is to get it in either Game Pass or PS Plus. That's the only way they're getting anywhere near 100 million players. It's the only way. Because, and I will say this right now, Battlefield 6 is supposed to be getting revealed, the rumor is, by the end of this month. So in a couple of weeks. The alpha footage was fucking incredible. When I did my solo episode, I was bigging up Battlefield 6 out the wazoo, saying I can't wait for this, and this could be the game, especially if COD isn't good this year, right? And there's quite a strong likelihood that it's not going to be good. It's built on the foundations of Black Ops 6, which just came out last year. So it's kind of like what they did with Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3, where they kind of just do that half-assed effort. So this could be a year. If Battlefield absolutely nail it, and it works, because 2042 apparently is really good now, but it didn't work for like 7 months. If they can somehow get it right out the gate, there's a strong chance that player sentiment could be really high, and that would carry it forward. And Battlefield isn't one of those series that comes out a new one every single year. So it can have legs, which means that over time it could achieve that 100 million players. I just can't see there being a reality when they're looking for 100 million sales. Because that's just fucking outrageous. There's no fucking way it sells 100 million, like no matter how good it is. There's no chance, there's no way. So surely they're not that dumb, right?
There seems to be such a disconnect, doesn't there, from the EA leadership team and the rest of EA. Now, Spence, I want to come back to you and ask you, do you think it's helpful, the management putting this type of pressure on their developers, when they could have something that is golden? And then they're set that sort of bar. And of course, they're probably bonused by this. Do you think that's helpful, saying something like that and putting that out to the media for all of us to discuss?
I think I wouldn't say it's helpful. I'd say it's fucking optimistic. I think it's less, or it's not as bad as saying it needs to be done by this time. I think it's better than limiting a development period as to say it needs to be this good as opposed to it needs to be done by now. So I think there's worse things they could say, but fucking million, I don't know. If Davey's right, the only way it will work is with Game Pass or PS Plus, but then you're throwing away money. So is it even worth the optics? Probably not. I don't think it is helpful, mate. Not even. I don't think it could be helpful. You should probably just say make the best fucking game you can.
Well, they're going to need to do something radical because, as I said, as of 2022, and we put together when the stats were put together in the article that I read, the entire franchise hadn't sold 100 million copies. So we're now just banking that number 6 absolutely flies off those shelves, or downloads a hell of a lot, like Davey believes could be their route to 100 million.
I suppose it all depends, doesn't it? If they go on the Call of Duty route and it is monetized like fuck, right? Like when you're inside that experience, and they've got like skins at the wazoo and all that shit, then maybe getting it free and getting out there, it will pay off in the back end, right? Personally, I think they're just fucking delusional at best. Like, it could sell really well. If it ships and it sells like 20 million, fantastic. That's great, for it to come out. Especially like this year's already been stacked. It needs COD to fuck up. And COD's being revealed at Gamescom. We already know that. Jeff Key's been tweeting about that, saying it's like the thing at Open Night Live. So we'll see. I mean, it's theirs to take, I think, this year. I think they've got a really strong chance competing with COD if they come out and it's the quality that I think it could be. But, is even COD selling 100 million every single year? I don't know. Like, it sells a lot, but 100 mil's a lot of sales.
Well, it's not actually sales. It's 100 million players.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think they sell 20 million, you, your wife, your 2 kids, and your grand play, 100 million players. Maybe that's their angle. Maybe there's a lot of game sharing involved there.
If you're on the same account, does it count as several players?
They
Surely
don't say
not.
simultaneous players, do they? They just said 100 million players.
At some
Maybe
point,
there's some system in there that forces you to create more players and more characters.
Yeah.
Maybe every death you
just
have to create
get
a new
the numbers
account.
up.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, you've topped out. You've got to level 20. Create another character.
Yeah. This is your prestige. You start a brand new account. Different name, please.
Yeah.
Different email, if you could.
Yeah, you got to pay for PS Plus as well, again. Everything. Do you know what? It screams to me that it's going to launch free to play.
It does.
That's what it screams to me. It screams it's going to launch free to play. But even then, like you said with Call of Duty sales, Call of Duty doesn't sell 100 mil, but it's free on Game Pass on PC and Xbox. So it probably does have 100 mil.
Probably, yeah. I wonder how many it sells. I might have to look into this. I might look into this. Obviously, I imagine next episode that we record will probably, if it hasn't already been shown, it's on the precipice of being shown Battlefield. So I imagine it'll probably come into next episode when we record next week. And I might do some homework on this, see how many COD on average sells. Because obviously it's got peaks and troughs. Modern Warfare seems to do very well for them. Black Ops historically did well, and I think the name's become a little bit down in the gutter over the last like 10 years or so. I wonder how outrageous this 100 million claim is. I'll look into it. I'll report back on the next episode.
Nice. So let's swing things actually back round to you for your next truth or a lie.
Okay. Speaking on the operation front, when I was a teenager, I had to have a throat operation as I had skin growing across my throat. Quick news. Listeners to the show, if this is your first episode, you might be thinking, wow, this is a crazy thing for someone to talk about. But if you've been listening for a while, you'll know that I have a soft place in my heart for a little game called Mr. Mosquito. Now, there's a game which isn't about a mosquito. It's about a fly, which is coming out onto PlayStation, and it's called Time Flies. And it comes out on July 31st. And what this is, you play as a fly. You've got 2 directions, I think it is, left and right. It's very, very simple in how it controls. And there's no other buttons. There's just your directions. And so if you want to interact with something as a fly, like you need to turn off the TV or something like that, then you have to fly onto the remote and move over onto the off button and walk over it as your way to turn it off. And the whole point of this game is that you've got a limited time to accomplish your entire bucket list that you want to do as a fly. We know the flies don't live very long. And what they've done is they've gamed it by, depending on where you are, based on the World Health Organization's life expectancy is how long you have. So you see on the blog here that if you're living in Switzerland, apparently they live on average for 83.3 years. And so in game as the fly, you'd have 83.3 seconds to be able to complete everything on your bucket list. If you live in the States, the average life expectancy is 76.4 years. So there it's actually harder. You only get 76.4 seconds. So it's much harder if you're from the States, right? And you just got to complete the stuff on your bucket list. And the whole idea is that you just do it over and over again until you have a perfect run where you're able to accomplish everything within that set time. And I think it's a really unique kind of like puzzle-esque game where you're just going to have to just run it over and over and over again in quick succession, quick times, just until you get fucking super good and try and accomplish everything. And I think it'd just be a really fun, little unique game, little unique experience. I don't know how much this costs. And I think that's going to be
60 quid.
Yeah. That's going to be the big thing, right? Like if the cost is outrageous for this, then yeah, it might be a bit much. I might have a little Google while I ask you guys about this. So what do you think about the idea of playing as a fly and this idea of having this very limited window to accomplish your bucket list? Spence, going to come across to you first because I think you might be the one who is a little bit more open to this idea than Phil, but I could be reading the tea leaves wrong here. What do you think about Time Flies, mate?
I think it's great. I do love it. I think it's weird, but that's fine if it's a good idea. And I think it is a good idea. I think it's fun. It's going to be like a lab demon. You're just going to have to keep playing the same scenarios again and again. It's going to be speedrunning. It's speedrunning, except you have to do it because your fly's going to die. And I love the idea that the platinum difficulty is harder depending where you live. And if you want it easier, like maybe it's a freaking 10 out of 10 difficulty in the States. But if you VPN over to freaking somewhere else, maybe it's just 3 out of 10. It's crazy that that's a thing, and it's got to be an option in the game where you can change that, surely. But if not, fuck them. Fuck the States. That is brilliant, and I think it's going to be a really fun little game, and I think it's going to be free to play. Or like £5.
I looked it up. It's $14.99.
Fuck me.
It's quite a lot.
Does the price differ where you buy it?
Of course it does. Yeah, it
Well,
depends
there we go. Yeah, it's the theme throughout this game. Wherever you are, it's going to be a little bit different. A little bit harder here, a little bit easier there, a little bit cheaper over here, and a little bit more expensive right where you're going to buy it, Davey. Because I think you are the target market when it comes to these obscure, unique was the word you used, wasn't it?
Unique.
Game experiences that would take you away from your 10 out of 10s, your clear obscures, your Donkey Kongs, your Death Strandings, your Split Fictions. You know, the list goes on at the moment. And we're talking about Time Flies, which when I read it, I thought it was a joke because the guy who created it is called Michael Fry. Like, yeah. I haven't got much more to say about this game. Sure, you can play it. I'm not interested. I don't know if our listeners, our viewers will be either.
I'll let you know. It's $14.99 with a 10% discount. If you get it, if you pre-order. So I think I've got 10 quid odd in install credit on there. I might have a look. I might just pick this up. You know, I think we might be playing this next episode. I might be able to tell you about Time Flies. Might be able to. Who knows? Maybe Death Stranding. I'll have to peel myself away from it to check out Time Flies, mate. Let you know about the potential Game of the Year nominee that is Time Flies.
As Spencer correctly identified, you would have to get yourself a VPN because I know you would want to go for the platinum if there is a platinum for this game. And you would need the most time with said fly to be able to get a platinum. So, yeah, give us a call when you need PC World support over here and we'll help you out. Set up your VPN so you can get the best time for your fly.
I'm gonna tell you now. How long do you reckon our life expectancy is in the UK?
The least, because I kill them all the time.
No, it's human. It's human years.
Yeah, human years. What do you reckon?
Years? A fly?
No, it's human years. Then it gets translated to seconds in the game for a fly.
Yeah. So, like, America's life expectancy is 76.4 years, so 76.4 seconds. Switzerland, as they said, or whatever, was like 83 years. What do you reckon the UK is? What do you reckon our life?
60.
60? We got free health.
Yeah, I was going to say like 85.
6 years.
Oh, that's
not
a
bad.
platinum. That's a platinum.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. 82.06 according to 2022 data. So there you go. We'll have a look. Apparently 82.6 for females. So we all know they live longer, but 4 months extra of life. They get.
We got free healthcare, but
Is it good healthcare?
Can't
Is
get a
it?
doctor.
Yeah, you can't get a doctor.
It's free
Yeah.
though.
A
It's
lot of
free.
immigration here, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a bit talked about a lot. Yeah, talked about a lot. Moving on. So
Quickly.
yeah, very very quick, very very quick. Spence, over to you.
Sure. So I forgot what I said the other one was. My other one that I've got to give you boys, I have never had a finger in my ass.
You always do this.
Oh,
Just
I
either
didn't
the
know,
hand or
man. I
hasn't.
forgot.
Mm.
I forgot, bro. I forgot.
And when does this stop? Because hopefully you're not doing it now.
What do you mean?
Finger in your ass, just in case one
No,
of us
it's
votes
just
you
has it-
haven't and thought, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck Davey, I'm going to finger my ass and then Phil wins.
Well, he does say it on several occasions, so he
Yeah,
can't. He
several
can't game
occasions.
it. He can't game it by fingering his ass now because it would just be
That'd
one
be a
occasion.
different
wouldn't it?
occasion from second to
Maybe I
second,
did it
surely.
once before the show. Just waiting to hear what you boys say.
Jesus. And
Locked
the
and
other one is
ready.
I've never had a finger in my ass. So if you fingered it before the show, then there is still a truth and a lie here.
See how
See,
that's
accepting
true.
we are.
yeah, true. If you said
Yeah.
I've had a finger in my ass, or I've never had a finger in my ass, then you could game it because you could be like, well, actually, they've both gone for I've never had a finger in my ass. I'll just shove a finger in, right? But several occasions rules that out. So I think we're safe here. I think we're safe. You can't game it.
In brackets, except before the show. It's gamed. All right, quick. Let's stop talking about. We all talk about it enough after this because we got some questions. I bet which would be hard to answer. Quick news: Halo CE, so Halo Combat Evolved, is getting a remake. I think we all know this. However, the remake will apparently only feature a campaign mode and actually not have any multiplayer, which, if I'm not wrong, is pretty much the best reason to play Halo is a multiplayer. Arguably, the campaigns are good, but come on, you ain't getting all that game time on just the campaigns. What do you boys think of this news? Have you both played Combat Evolved? And what are your experiences with it? I came to you first, Phil. So Davey, I'll come to you first.
I have. I've played Combat Evolved to death.
Yeah?
For the campaign, yes. Multiplayer back at that time was limited to split screen playing against each other, right? And it's fun as hell on the original Halo. But the campaign's fucking amazing. Played it to death. I played it through in co-op all the way through on Legendary. Just loved it. Absolutely loved it on the original Xbox. Just sweated it around my mate's house. Playing multiplayer against each other was fun as hell. You get 4 people in a room, put on like a soundtrack, which you could build into the Xbox back at the time, which was a huge deal, and a music player built into it, which was awesome. And yeah, just go to town and just play it. Play Slayer on Blood Gulch, wherever it is. Class. I will be fucking pissed off if there's no multiplayer for a Halo game. I'll be fucking fuming, actually. It'll be devastating. Like, it's not the only draw, right? But it's like we got Gears coming out now in like a month, and that's got the full multiplayer suite and the campaign. I would expect exactly the same thing for Halo. Like, it'd be wild to just not include it. It'd be nuts. And granted, if they said, oh, sorry guys, yeah, for this one it is just this, but Halo 2 we're going to bring out next year, and that's got the full multiplayer suite, or Halo 3, right? Like, both of those, like, the multiplayer on that is essential to that experience. I will still be fucking fuming if it's not here, because there's no reason not to. And it's as simple as that. I think it'd just be fun as hell. And, playing the campaign through with you guys would be fun, but being able to go online and we just shoot some people and mess around, do some glitches and stuff, that's fun as hell too. Why not have that? That's part of the experience for me. They're too intrinsically linked. It's like when they did the Modern Warfare 2 remake for COD,
Oh,
and they didn't bring
about that, you fucker.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. And they didn't bring the multiplayer back. And you just think, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what stupid thing to do? It makes no fucking sense. So I'm totally against it if that's the case. Will I buy it anyway? Yes, of course I will. Fucking take my money. I want Halo so bad. But I'll be fucking fuming.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough. And tell you what, you're not even wrong. Phil, mate, how about you? How'd you feel? And have you played this game before?
I have not. No, I was never really a big Halo guy back in the day, and I wasn't invited to Xbox. So I didn't get to experience those beautiful experiences that Davey always reminisces about and makes us very, very jealous about. But this news hasn't actually been confirmed, guys. So I've done a little bit of reading into this. Now, this news comes from Rebs Gaming's latest YouTube video. Okay, so he's done a bit of a deep dive into Combat Evolved, the remake, to pick through the code to see what's in there and what's not in there. And he doesn't believe that the online multiplayer or multiplayer is included within this game. So it might actually be that, okay? But when I read it, it makes complete sense if they was a purpose decision to leave out the multiplayer, considering how badly multiplayer modes have been going. You know, like on PlayStation, it ain't great at the moment. You know, there's a lot of complaints. Do they really want to invite that negativity to their game? Because I believe they would get that, because everyone seems to be, you know, burning the pitchforks whenever there's anything multiplayer that isn't COD.
I agree with you. However, I think sure having the multiplayer invites hate, but I feel like not having a multiplayer mode invites way more hate. Far more hate than having one ever could, because there will be fans of it. Whereas no one likes when there's just cut and there's no content. So I do agree with you, but I think there's more hate this way. But then what you said, Davey, with the fact Call of Duty did the same thing, just released a campaign, no multiplayer. I think it's fine. As long as it's sold for cheap, as long as it's like 10 quid, 15 quid tops, and it's a good version to campaign, I think it's fine.
Yeah, if it's like significantly reduced price, if we're talking like the price of Time Flies or Halo CE remake, right? Class. Brilliant. But it's not going to be. It'd be like 50 quid. It'd be like
No
50
way.
quid. It will, man. They will fucking... This will be a big deal. As soon as Halo comes over, when, I'm putting it out there now, when, because it's a cert now at this point, we've had everything else, it will be a massive deal. It's like their biggest franchise. You know, like Halo is Xbox. And to have Master Chief over on PlayStation will be fucking so cool. It'd be so great. And to have like a fucking watered down, piss poor version would just suck, man. Like, it would just suck. For me personally, I just want to do the Master Chief Collection, just bring that over. That's what I want. I want what Xbox have had for years. Just bring that over. That's what I want. Don't need anything else. Like, that's perfect. But if it's just this, it will sting, man. It would definitely sting for me, and I won't be alone in that. There'd be fucking outrage if it's just this. You'll see all these videos go up from all these Xbox people laughing at PlayStation. And all the PlayStation people put out videos, oh, it's fucking dead on arrival, blah, blah, blah. And yet we all buy it for 50 quid because it's fucking class. I'll be pissed off, bro.
For fucking 50 quid. I'm buying it for 20.
I will.
That is wild. I think, to be fair, like you said, Phil, it's not even we don't even know if it's happening. It's just a rumor, really. But if it does happen, I think it makes sense for it to not have multiplayer as well, especially if it only had more like local back in day. They're not going to make a whole new multiplayer mode for it. No chance.
They had it in Master Chief Collection, and I'm like, I put money on it that it was there. And they added like proper multiplayer to it. So it's not like as if it's not. It's just never been the case. It was there in that collection.
It's probably just save it for when the Master Chief Collection comes over then. Because then it's a reason for you to buy this and the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, well, they just remake 2.
They do them all separate.
Yeah. Get that money, baby. Get that money. They need that money now. It's all going tits up over there. They want AI to do everything, don't they, Microsoft? So, just get AI to remake Halo for me. That would go well.
Fucking
brilliant.
Awful.
Brilliant.
Right, well, not much else really to say about this, to be fair, but hopefully it's true. Hopefully it's coming across. Hopefully it has multiplayer, but well, who knows? And hopefully it's 20 quid.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully it's 20 quid. All right, moving on. Back round to yourself, Mr. Hoy. Give us your other one.
Here's my other one. When I was a kid, I used to buy cigarettes and sell them. Quick news. So, guys, I'm a massive fan of The Walking Dead, but I don't really gel with Dead by Daylight. Now, there's been an official trailer that's dropped that caught my eye purely because of the Walking Dead aspect, where we've got a little bit of a mashup. We now have Rick Grimes and Michonne in Dead by Daylight. Now, I brought up the trailer expecting to see Norman Reedus again, Mr. Death Stranding, in Dead by Daylight. Where is Daryl Dixon? Apparently nowhere. We got Rick Grimes and Michonne. Now, guys, are you excited? I know you are massive fans of the series Dead by Daylight. Will you be playing Rick or Michonne? Spence, I want to come over to you first.
Sure, mate. So I am a massive fan of DBD. We're not playing it as much recently as we once were, although we should change that. But again, who's got the time? Brilliant game. But Walking Dead, I enjoyed the show up to a point. It got to a point where it was just fucking dragging on and I stopped watching. I think I stopped after season 4, maybe. I don't even know.
4?
Yeah, how many seasons were there?
A lot more than 4.
Like 17, some fucking shit like that. I stopped around
And then
9.
there's
mate.
like,
Don't
yeah,
worry.
there's spin-offs and shit as well. I don't know. I think I might have got further than season 4. I don't know. I can't. It was when it was coming out, or whenever I stopped was when it was airing that thing. So it was fucking yonks ago.
Yeah, a long time.
But fuck knows. I enjoyed the show, but not enough to watch that many seasons of fucking Walking Dead. And obviously, the reason it's not Norman Reedus is because they can't fucking afford him. Not a chance.
They could.
Not after
bro.
this, mate. He's got Kojima saying, I'd pay you double to stay. I'll pay you double to not do it.
It's all-
100%.
Mate, they're just being sweet with it, Dead by Daylight, because the main people for it are, the characters they put into it. Rick Grimes and Michonne, they are like the main goats, right? Like Norman Reedus, yes, and he's got his own spin-off Walking Dead show now as well, on there as well. So they're just playing smart with it. It's like the same way that when they did the game that Kami mentioned, they chuck in Leon, and then down the road, here comes Ada and fucking, Claire and all those, right? Like, you don't want to just spam your load out straight away. You can piecemeal these in, Dead by Daylight's not going anywhere, is it? So you can keep it fresh. But I think you and me probably going to go on the same line for this. I think with these survivors, it just all depends on
What skills they got. What
Yeah.
skills they got, yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fire, mate. You're actually so right. Yeah, honestly, a lot of the time we don't even care about the characters, but if they're skills, we might need their skills. Who knows? But then we're not going to play the characters anyway. We'll get them in the blood web or
In the shrine. The
in
shrine,
the shrine
of
of secrets. Yeah, damn straight. We'll just get it from there. I ain't paying freaking £6.
It depends, man. Like, there was the point where when you've got like a build like we do, and we only needed like one thing, we needed Lara Croft's new skill, right? And we were
Yeah,
like,
so
we could just wait,
good.
wait. But if she had like 2 or 3 that were fucking goated, or 2, like if she had 2 that were fucking goated, you thought, oh, I could use these. Then at that point, it becomes a little bit more appealing to get the character, doesn't it?
But they never do.
No, very rarely. Very rarely. There are some though. There are some, like, you remember when all the rage was to do like flip flop with Ash from the Evil
Oh,
Dead?
yeah, of course, mate. Of course.
That meta. So, and that was the case. One of us bought that. So,
We didn't buy it, did we? We didn't buy it with we didn't spend real money.
No, I think we might have done, or it was in-game currency that we'd built up over playing for hundreds of hours. But we definitely bought him. We didn't get him for free, so we definitely bought him. One of us did.
No idea. I can't remember. We bought so much. I can't remember, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I feel like it must have been a shrine. I think I bought Nick Cage.
Yep.
So I've got that Play Dead one. I bought Ripley. I bought Resident Evil.
Oh my god.
Has that not already been said?
I can't believe it. Me and Phil were only talking last episode about getting rid of the button because we never push it anymore.
Yeah, it's random though, isn't it? It's like once every 14 episodes someone will say it. I feel like it's already been said this episode.
No.
And no one's caught it.
No one said it. You are the first in like fucking forever. Well done, mate.
That's crazy. Yeah, my fault.
So yeah, I think long story short, before we start going down and start admitting the rest of our purchasing decisions on Dead by Daylight, people can see how financially irresponsible we are. It's probably a good point to say that I think we're on the same agreement for this, right? It just depends on what the perks are if we get them, right? Surely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I think that's the same with all people. Like, It's great when they get new characters in. I think for me, it's always more interesting when it's killers, I think, rather than survivors. There's obviously exceptions to this, right? Like, we were all popping off when the game, the Can't Be Mentioned characters got in there and stuff like that. And obviously we all bought them and blah, blah, blah. But, I've got Jill Valentine. I don't really want to run anyone else. So it's just, I want to just keep on prestiging it over and over again. And the killers would be the cool thing. But with this, I mean, what the killers, just zombies? Because that would just be shit.
Negan.
It is Negan.
Well, it should be, surely.
Yeah,
He's
it
the
has
most
to be.
famous bad guy in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be. I think. Yeah. But what would he do?
Just walk around with a fucking bat.
Smash your head in.
Or in as hell. You got so many cool killers already that just are melee-based killers.
Yeah, but mate, all the killers are done quite well.
They are. So you can't have Negan. It'd just be boring.
Well, unless they just think of something.
Guess. I mean, like, who would you rather play, a xenomorph or a guy with a bat?
What if he throws the bat?
Yeah, maybe. Got enough people throwing shit, like fucking Legion with his fucking throwing knives.
Yeah,
and
and Huntress
shit,
with her axes, yeah. And then the vomit woman. Yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah. Bit him off. Don't need
It
Negan.
might just be like a Nick Cage one where there's no killer.
Yeah, could be. But I mean, Phil, obviously you're a massive Walking Dead fan. You carried on when all of us, the rest of the world, gave up on Walking Dead. It was the biggest show on TV for a long time, and then it just petered off because everyone got sick of nothing happening for 58 minutes. In the last 2 minutes, it's like blah 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 blah. I can't wait for the next episode now, and it does that for like 17 seasons. Are you going to be spending any real hard-earned cash on Dead by Daylight? You're going to join us for some more D by D fun?
No. But there was 11 series of The Walking Dead, and I watched them all. I thought it was an incredible show, especially when you got towards the end. There were some very interesting bad people that was sort of chasing our heroes. But there was a period in time where I just watched everything on TV. So Lost, Prison Break, Heroes, The Walking Dead. I loved all that. I lapped that shit up. I used to watch it all. So yeah, I just continued with The Walking Dead, and it was quite a good finale. I haven't seen the spin-offs just yet, but I will do. A big fan of Norman Reedus.
Hey, well, fair play. You can jump on that grenade for us all you like. Now, I suppose with that brings quick news to a close. So we have some truths and lies to go through. So kick it off with myself first. My two were, when I was a kid, I had an operation on my eye as my eyelids were too droopy, hence why I have slightly Asian-looking eyes. And two, when I was a teenager, I had to have a throat operation as I had skin growing across my throat. So, Spence, going to come to you first. What do you reckon is, well, call them out, mate. Which one's the lie? Which one's the truth?
Straight up, all right. I think
Well, ask me questions, of course.
Nah. I don't need. I know you well enough, mate. I don't need no questions. I think the throat operation is the truth.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if I'm wrong now, but I'm gonna say that's the truth.
Fair enough. What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? You see how much I struggle with my eyes on a near daily basis when it comes to hay fever and other pollen-related injuries. What do you think?
I've known you for a very long time, Davey, and I've never heard you tell us anything to do with your eyes and surgery. Now, I do faintly remember you talking about a throat operation or some sort of issue that you were struggling with your throat at some point. So that one's ringing a bell, and I can't get it off my mind. So I'm going to go with that. But I quite like that you've gone for the Chinese aspect of your eyes. Mate, your eyes are fine. You won't need to get those adjusted until later life.
Well, you guys are completely right. Yeah, it was for operations, the truth. Well done.
Yeah. I'm
You
sure
both
you've
point
told
out-
us, man. I'm sure you've
I'm
told us
pretty
years
sure
ago.
you've told us at some
Probably
stage.
have.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing. It's like this genetic thing that males don't often have, but my granddad had it. Apparently, it's more common in females, right? But what happens is that, like,
The dick stopper.
yeah,
That's
I'm
crazy.
so straight that my throat won't let me swallow a dick.
The hymen of the throat.
But no, it's like some web, like your skin like webs in your throat, right? And it means that like food or whatever would like get like tiny bits of food with like stick on it, and then you'd be like just saliva would just be going nuts. It was horrible, and it felt minging, and yeah, suffered with it for a couple of years, and then had an operation when I was about 15, something like that, and yeah.
Fine
Sucked.
sense. That's like a bird, mate. Birds have a hook in their throat. So when they eat food, it catches the bones and then they spit out like a bone ball.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like that, mate. Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, so it's some weird genetic thing. And so they think it might skip a gen. So Cass might be all right, but then it'd be his kids could potentially have it. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But he is a slow eater, Cass. And I keep going on to him. But he's not spitting up stuff like I was. So I don't know. I'll wait and see. Cross that bridge when we get there. Hopefully he doesn't have to go through what I did. It was horrible. But Spence, let's come over to you. Your two.
Sure. So my first one was I have had a finger in my ass on several occasions. And my other one was I have never had a finger in my ass. Ask away.
When you say a finger, are you trying to get around it because normally people put two in you?
Well, I think the first time is just, one or a thumb, innit? I think.
Thumb.
Yeah. I think in this context, a thumb classes as a finger.
Okay.
Because, people
That's
differentiate that.
important.
Yeah, there you are.
So several occasions, this is what we'll ask about. So is this you doing it to yourself? Or is this other people doing it to you?
It was one time to myself.
Okay.
In the shower, seeing if I liked it. And then second time, maybe I thought, well, I wasn't that bad last time. Would you try it? And then, did. And maybe more times since.
Oh,
Do you
clean.
douche?
I don't douche, but I shit like a fucking pig. So I'm always empty.
Shit like a pig.
What a line to use. Excuse me, mate. Can you finger my ass? I shit like a pig, so it'll be clean down there.
It's weird, but it's right, mate. It's right. I'm always empty.
Does
bro.
it work?
Yeah. It works flawlessly.
Okay.
We going on this one, Phil.
Well, Spencer is the kinkster of the group. Now, I think he said that because he thinks we're both going to agree that he has. So I don't know if it's a trap. Really don't know. It's a difficult one. Because when you first said it, I was like, yeah, 100%. He's done that. He's been there. Hell, why not? He's probably enjoyed it. And that's why it's a couple of times. That's multiple occasions. But is it a lie? Is it a lie? I'm going to go with a lie with this one.
So what, you think he's never had a finger in his ass?
I do. Yeah. No, I really do think he has had a finger in his ass.
You think he has?
No, it's so confusing. I think he has, but I think he's lying because he wants. All right, I'm gonna.
Which one's the truth? Which one's the lie?
I'm gonna go with he hasn't then, even though I think he does. I'm somewhere in the middle.
So you're saying that the truth is he has never had a finger in his ass.
Go with never. Yeah.
Okay, I'm agreeing with you on that one because I've got a feeling there's been many occasions that I've spoken to Spence about this that I've never done it, and he's always said he's never done it as well. Because if he had done it, and if he told me he'd done it, I'd have more questions, which have never happened. And I know before I've admitted that I've never put anything up my arse, not a finger or anything. And girls, for some reason, like to ask this question as well when you get drunk around girls. And they're like, have you ever put something? And it's like, no, no, just never crossed my mind to ever do it. And I'm sure that you've told me that you haven't. And I was shocked that you hadn't. So I'm agreeing with that. I reckon that's the truth.
Well, I'd love to know what the audience thinks as well. I'd love to leave this empty and find out what they think.
Next episode of The Walking Dead.
6 fingers.
6 fingers. Fucking hell, mate.
Unfortunately, we need to finish the game, so I have to divulge it now. I have never had one in my bottom. Never. To be honest, though, I've thought about it, trying, but every time the finger gets close, it's like, no, not a chance. No way.
No.
You will tonight, though, won't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, straight after the show now.
Yeah. Because
Piqued
now
your
everyone thinks
interest.
I never have, so now I can just do it and no one will think I'm a freak.
Clear.
Damn
Good
straight,
bluff,
bro.
isn't it?
Yeah, mate, great. I'm
And
lying anyway.
150 odd people that listen to us believe you haven't done it.
I know, they're all wrong. Of course I have.
So, Phil, you're on an absolute truth train at the moment. 2 for 2, Phil. So very
Train.
well done. Are we going to all tie it up? Am I going to be able to get the truth on this one? And is Spence going to continue his streak and get truth on this one? So we all take a shot? Let's find out next episode. No. Phil, go on then. Give me your truth and lie.
Woo woo! All aboard the truth train. So my truth is that I used to buy cigarettes to sell them, or is my truth that I used to steal cigarettes to sell them?
So how old were you when you were stealing and or buying cigarettes? How old were you? Very carefully worded, that question.
I would have said I was still doing a paper round.
Paper round.
Wow.
When did you stop your paper round?
I stopped it before I joined Summerfield.
That doesn't help me.
So I wonder if you were 16. I stopped mine late. I had to get paid national minimum wage because I was doing mine at 16. So it's possible that you kept it going that long to buy them legally. But then Phil may have looked older than I was. Because back in the day, it was 16 to buy cigarettes.
And just to let you know, I was being served at that age in a bar.
Wow, I couldn't get served at all. Like, if I didn't have my ID, I wouldn't get served at 18, bro.
I don't get served now.
Times were different, mate. Those 5 years between us.
That's true. They probably got much tougher on it after they were letting in you and all the rest of your mates. Getting wrecked.
Selling dodgy cigarettes.
Yes, in fact.
And Pokemon cards and yo-yos. I had it all back in the day. I was a proper entrepreneur.
So what do you reckon, Spence?
All right, I got a question. So talk me through. So when you were stealing these cigarettes, what was the process? How were you getting a hold of these? What was the method of theft?
Well, this would give it away.
That's
If
why
I
I'm
was
asking.
to go too far into either aspect of this. So I was quite ambiguous when I was talking about at what age, and I think I'd be quite ambiguous as to how I was stealing these cigarettes as well.
One way not to answer a question, mate.
I know. Is that allowed?
For mine, I just made up a story. I was like, yeah, in the shower, and then next
Yeah,
time.
same. Whenever I've lied about any of these things, always just made up a story.
I can't just be like, I'm not saying that.
I
I'm not telling you the
I
truth.
can tell you where it wasn't. It
Go
wasn't
on.
from a relative, where a lot of people would steal cigarettes.
Don't know if that even helps. So it was from a store.
Can't deny, can't confirm.
Oh,
on,
he's
mate. Come on, mate.
He's playing the
Little-
game, isn't he? He's playing the game.
Stop playing. He's cheating.
He
What
is,
he
he is
did.
cheating. He is cheating. And his camera's off for us recording right now.
Yeah, we can't see his
We
face.
can't even see his face. He's blacked out. He's done it on purpose, I reckon. I'm going to go on a whim. I don't think you're a thief, Phil. I think you're many things, but a thief is not one of them. I reckon you were buying cigarettes and selling them.
How about you, Spence?
I think you're a fucking thief, mate. Right, you're stealing them. I want a winner, so I'm going to go the opposite way. I sincerely think you were buying them, but I'm going to go the other way, so there is a concrete winner today.
Wow. Well, I'm going to have to surprise you both, because I did actually steal cigarettes when I was a child and sell them. So the story is, and would you class this as technically stealing? I used to go to an arcade in Bristol called Dave and Buster's with my parents, and used to walk round, and we used to get a bucket of chicken, and you used to get a couple of gold coins to go on all the arcade machines. And I remember going on the Lawnmower VR machine, and that spoiled VR for me, because I remember saving up to go on that, and it was absolutely dog shit. So that's probably why it scarred me for life. That's why I'm probably not into VR these days. It's all down to Lawnmower Man. You remember that movie?
I
They made
do.
a VR game back in the day when I was a child, and you put it on, you could hardly move. You had to wave something about, didn't understand it, didn't work at all. So yeah, that scarred me for life. But walking around Dave & Buster's, there was a surprising amount of cigarettes just laying about next to gambling machines. So me and my brother, for whatever reason, started to pick these up. And then when we were back in Caldecott, used to sell them. So technically stealing, I didn't really steal them from a store. I didn't go behind, Poor Boys
It's
and pick
definitely
up some
stealing.
cigarettes.
It definitely
They
is
were
stealing.
left behind, weren't they? They would have been put in the bin otherwise. But yes, I did go home from Dave & Buster's with a pocket full of cigarettes and sell them around Caldecott for profit, which was about £1 back in those days. So did very well.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
making big money. That Jenny Wealth. That's how Jenny Wealth begins, having these entrepreneurial ideas, mate. So well done. So with that bombshell of Phil being a little filthy rat stealing, I have lost
As
the
a
quick-
child, things
as
have
a-
changed.
As a child. I have lost quick news. So that means Spence and Phil get away scot-free, and I have got one shot in the dock. And with that, we shall move it on to the topic of the show. Stop! Topic time! And here we are with the topic, and today's topic is a bit of a juicer, I feel. It might not be. You might be thinking to yourself, audience, do you know, this seems old. It is old, right? This is old news, but we haven't talked about it, and I think it's important news. So, what is the news? Well, let's get into it, shall we? Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox in August. It was announced a couple of weeks back, and it made a lot of Xbox people happy, and for the most part, I would say that it made most PlayStation fans happy. There were some who were throwing up the fucking white flag, saying it's a surrender move, it's the end of days, they're finally bringing something over to the other side. Why do it? Why give them something? I want to know what you guys think. First off, is this the end of days? Is this the beginning of the floodgates are open now and all our games are going to go into Xbox? The tides have turned. They can no longer support our own platform anymore. We have to now rely on the Xbox players who don't buy games to somehow buy games. Is that what's happening here, lads? I want to have your reaction to Helldivers going to Xbox. Us getting some more recruits for Super Earth. Phil, I'm going to come to you first. How do you feel about this news?
It's right. I'm not really bothered by it either way. I'm really not with this news. It's a bit of a strange one, really, because I saw the uproar on Twitter. As we know, it's an echo chamber when it comes to these things. And my timeline is primarily PlayStation for obvious reasons. But I do get the odd Xbox loser creep into my timeline. And it was quite interesting to see the number of tweets where PlayStation players were trying to rally, trying to form a little bit of a rebellion against the Xbox players. So if there ever was an Xbox person in their game, they'd either drop or kick them, etc., etc. But, I mean, why? You're over-leveled compared to the Xbox guys anyway. You shouldn't really need them within your game. Really. If you're accepting Xbox players into your game, you're probably pretty new to the game yourself, and then you need the help, would be my assumption. But kicking them out of the game, is that the right thing to do? Yes, of course it is, because we're tribalistic as hell over here on PlayStation, and they should be banished like the worms they are. If you feel that way. But me, personally, I'm indifferent about this whole thing. I don't see Helldivers 2 going over to Xbox as the floodgates being opened, meaning that God of War's going over there. And all our amazing AAA titles, first-party titles on PlayStation, going over to Xbox. Can I ever see a world where that happens? No. People are getting them, a couple of years later, over on PC. Do I think that's right? Yes, I do. Do I agree with that? 100%. But it's never coming to Xbox. This is just a one-off. This is an edge case scenario where you're getting a quality game that's been brought up on PlayStation, but we're sharing it with you. We're allowing you a little bit of enjoyment over there on your system. Enjoy it while it lasts.
It's like when you go to like the Christmas do, and they give out like canapes, right? And everyone on the Christmas do gets a canapé, but only some people get to have that canapé life, and other people it's their first taste of that life, right? And they taste that little bit, then a little bit of caviar hit their lips, and they think, "Oh, it might be a bit too rich for my taste. I might have to just stick to having the cheese balls." maybe that's the Xbox people right now, right? They're getting that little taste, that little bit of the good life, and then that's all that's coming their way. You know, back on the 1st of January, they're back in their little fucking shit house, looking outside, looking at their next door neighbours, setting fire to their car again for the 3rd time this last month. I'm thinking, oh, why did I wish it could be the Christmas party every day. Well, that's just ain't your life, kid. That just ain't it. You know, you have to go back there and sit there and play your fucking shithouse games for free. Well, I'm paying for them all. Like Doom. So, you know, great when they've had probably the best year that Sony could fucking hope for at the moment, because we haven't had a fucking banger year in forever. But, you know, well, they put out 6 games in 1 year and I'm buying them all. So, cheers, Xbox. Thanks a lot. Spence, how are you taking this news with Helldivers going across? Cause for concern?
I think it's fine. Completely fine. And I think everything else can go over there now as well. All the single players too. I have no qualms with whatsoever because Xbox is dead. It doesn't matter. They'll get them for the Series X, and then after that, the next Xbox is going to be a computer anyway, so they'd play them on Steam because all of them are coming to PC. As long as they're not getting them day and date, it's fine. There's going to be no difference between Xbox and PC in the future because Xbox is gone. So what does it matter?
Fair take. Me personally, I'm kind of siding somewhere between both of you, I think. I don't have any problem with Helldivers going over, and I think it makes sense for me personally for any other live service games that Sony put out, if there were to be any more, which, you know, hopefully there isn't, but say there is, why not bring it over there, right? Like, you need all the players you can fucking get for a live service game. It makes sense to make it as prolific as possible, right? It really does. For me, I think the issue would be, like, single-player games. I think there's just no reason to bring them over to the Xbox ecosystem. I think it just makes that easy edge case to say which devices do you need to own, and it just makes it clear as day that you need like a Nintendo, you need a PC, and you need a PlayStation, right? It just keeps that there. Whereas if it's not on Xbox, then that, I think that's clear. Whereas if it is on Xbox, even if it is like, you know, a little bit later, there's an argument to be like, well, I might as well just stick with an Xbox. There's no point in me buying a PlayStation because I'll get it eventually, right? And I think that's the same argument that we always have on the PlayStation side for not buying Xbox. It's because we'll get their games eventually, so we can wait. You know, I'm popping off about fucking Halo, for God's sake. And it's like a 25-year-old game, you know? I'm really excited about it because I'll finally get it. I think it just makes it just an easier proposition to buy, and especially where Sony at the moment don't have the output that they used to have. You know, we're getting like 2 games a year from them at max. In this year particularly, we got 2, you know, in fucking Death Stranding and Ghost, and that's it, you know. Like, I think it just makes it a lot cleaner to be able to have that distinction between live service and single player experiences, personally. And I think like the market is so small over on Xbox, like 28 million or something like that. What's the point in bringing them over there? Like, PC, it makes sense. It's a big load of players that will gain access to play those games, and the idea behind the strategy at the moment is that they'd buy those games, enjoy them, like with God of War 2018. They'll play that, and Ragnarok's just around the corner. Oh fuck, I love 2018. I'm gonna get a PlayStation so I can play Ragnarok, so I don't have to wait 2 years for it. Like, that's their strategy they have at the moment, and I think it works. I think it works really, really well. Putting it over to Xbox at the same time, I just don't think there's... I think the damage to the brand is too much for the small monetary gain. I don't think there's enough there to be able to make it so that it's so appealing that they have to do it. You know, like, for 28 million consoles that they've sold, people don't really buy games on their system anyway because they've been trained not to for Game Pass. So if you put it over there, will it sell, what, an extra million, maybe? I think even then that's a push. I really do. And I mean, we'll see how Helldivers comes out now, and if it sells fucking gangbusters over on Xbox, hey, maybe that might change the money purse. The money purse might be too much for PlayStation. They might think, well, we might as well, you know? But I think it's too damaging for the brand if they were to bring the first party stuff over there from single player. I really do. I just can't imagine it, you know? It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, not at all. And we're not getting into a swap situation here between Xbox and PlayStation. We're not saying you give us indie, we'll give you The Last of Us. You give us Starfield, we'll give you, Uncharted. This isn't happening. Their games are coming to us. We're bolstering our back catalogue of options. Now, have we really played indie? Did anyone play indie?
Not yet. I will, though. I will. I haven't yet. Time.
It's all timing because there is a lot of quality out there at the moment. But I'm not gassed about any of these games at the moment, really.
Doom?
I'm not.
You've just been playing Doom. That's on there. That's from their studio.
Yeah, but like an exclusive that we're getting delayed over to PlayStation, so such as indie.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, there aren't any now, are there?
Yeah,
is there any more?
Exactly.
I can't think of any. They all seem to be coming pretty much day and date now, right? Like they just don't seem to do that. I think it's just a weird. We're just in. It's just a different market, right? Like when you got a console that's selling super well, and it's like 80 odd million sold or whatever it is, like 90 odd million now probably, and it's got a healthy ecosystem. PlayStation Network having record profits year after year after year, becoming more and more profitable. It makes sense for Xbox, who are struggling financially. They got the burden of having bought, Bethesda and fucking all the fucking shit that they bought, Activision, all that. It makes sense to them looking at the fucking bank balance, being like, Daddy Microsoft coming down and being like, lads, you just blew fucking billions on this acquisition and you're making fucking peanuts. You have no choice but to market your game somewhere else to be able to recoup some of these development costs. Like that.
Are we talking about Bungie now?
Well, Bungie are fucking absolute fucking nightmare purchase. Absolute nightmare purchase. You could have called that. But yeah, like, you can see from their side why they're doing it. I just can't see what the rationale would be on the other side. If we were hemorrhaging money, if PlayStation was hemorrhaging money, then at that point, yeah, why not? You got anything you can to try and recoup some money. But that's not the situation on the side. So it just doesn't. I just can't compute it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I started getting players in the door for a live service, which does make sense.
I want to dig into something Spencer was saying a minute ago around he doesn't mind that PlayStation games are going to start to show up on Xbox when Xbox inevitably just becomes a PC because it's going to run Steam. Now, when is an Xbox still an Xbox? Or do we just call it a PC moving forward?
That's the thing. I think it won't be an Xbox for long. I think there's no way. If Xbox runs Steam, they have PlayStation games. They have them.
I wonder where they get their revenue from in that model. I mean, I know this is a conversation for when that actually does happen, when these rumors come true, but how the fuck are they going to make any revenue? That's what I want to know. Because if everyone's buying it on Steam, they're not getting a cut of that.
I think they're hoping they sell enough consoles, I'd have to assume. And then they don't have to splurge out on the games, even though they've just acquired all these developers, because all the games are coming from Steam and PlayStation. You can play them on an Xbox. You get a universal console, which is great, but a computer's that anyway.
If I was Steam, right, and you've got this player base coming over that's already used to paying to play online, I would charge them.
Well, Steam charge them.
Steam charges.
I would
Xbox
charge
players.
the Xbox players to play on Steam.
It's going to have something built into that console, don't you? Like where you're still going to have like Xbox Live or whatever it is, right, to be able to play.
Yeah, of course.
It's got to have something. And I do wonder what the next gen's going to look like. Like you got Nintendo Switch doing their thing, fucking putting out 10 out of 10s, blamming it away with just a normal kind of console for them. PlayStation 6 doing the same thing it's done on PS5, right? And then being bolstered by handheld, which is the rumor that keeps on coming up over and over again. New rumor circulating. There might be in the next episode. And then you got Xbox who were just like, yeah, we're gone.
We've lost.
Yeah, it's Microsoft Gaming. It's just, they might as well just say it's just Microsoft Gaming now. They might as well. And just say, yeah, it's a box that does everything. But unless their whole marketing strategy is that people will get it because of the Steam library, but while they're there, they'll get Xbox Game Pass, right? And PC Game Pass, and that's how they'll finally boost those subscription numbers. But I just think that's a stretch. I think it's just a fucking reach. I don't know what they're doing. Like, honestly, I think they're fucking mental over on that side. I mean, I know this wasn't the topic, but it's turned into it now. What are they doing, man?
They don't know, mate. They don't know.
When they first announced Game Pass, right? I remember all of us on this podcast were like, "This is fucking so dumb. Like, there's no way this is gonna it's gonna fucking cripple them." And here we are, like fucking 10 years later or whatever, and it's fucking GG's, man. Like one of the founding people of Xbox, like the original hardware, was put something out on Twitter a couple of weeks ago now, where they were like, "I just fucking weep at the eroding that's happened to this brand over such a short period of time." You just think all it took was just they got so many good games right now, like so many, like this generation now that have come out. They got a good catalog. They just fucking stuck to their guns. I would have had such a good argument to buy an Xbox, but just fucking letting them go over, just fucking, what's the point? Doom. Why release it everywhere? What the fuck are you doing, man? Like,
Not
keep
that
it.
one, mate. Indie, bro.
Well, yeah, indie, keep it. Yeah, like all these things. Keep. And then it'd be like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get one. No.
It's because then they'd have to keep that up,
Yeah, that's the problem.
and they can't.
Yeah.
They're releasing games, maybe 3 good games every 5 years.
No,
They can't.
they got good games, man. They've done really good the last 2 years. Like, can't put it away from them now. It's their output's been really good, and sure they're not 10 out of 10 masterclasses, but they're all 80s.
Great.
I think it makes sense, though, for the future of Xbox if they lowered the price of their hardware and just allowed people to stream these games. So it almost goes back to the old, what was it, Stadia by Google
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
Now they've got the infrastructure to be able to do this, and PlayStation has shown that's available now with the Portal and the PS5. Why don't they set up a service where your Xbox is literally a streaming service now? You lower the price of the hardware, you'll get a lot more people subscribing to Game Pass. Those subscription numbers go up, and then you could put more money back into the games, and people aren't shelling out £1,000 for something that looks a little bit like the Steam Deck, but just has an extra button. Who's going to buy one of those?
No, I mean
it seems ridiculous to really price your hardware now at that premium level to get a lesser product.
it's mental.
It's a confusing one for me. I would go proper low with the hardware. Have a nice handset. Yes, you can upgrade your handset. Spend a couple of £100. Partner up with Scuff. Get all the really COD extras on your handset. Brilliant, right? But the actual hardware that you plug into your TV, super cheap, just so everyone can get one, and it's super affordable. They even give them away.
I think the reason they can't do that is because they've already done that.
Yeah, it's all on the TVs and shit, and it's everywhere.
Everything is an Xbox now. They had a big marketing campaign. Everything. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. You could plug an iPad in. You could stream whatever, and you're doing that. In that case, even then, if they offered me a free Xbox, I'd say why. If it's just to stream things, I have a Fire Stick. That is an Xbox.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think they can go that way because it limits you, and we know this as well as anyone, right? Like, playing on the Portal, you're limited what you can actually do on that. Because, fuck playing Doom on it.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And sure, there's a lot of experiences that you can enjoy, and I enjoy my Portal very, very much. But I know what it is, right? And it certainly wouldn't be my console. Like, if I was like, I'm just going to stream games forever now. Fuck no. Absolutely not. No way.
Yeah, but you paid £150 for your Portal. What if this price of admission was a tenner, or it was free, or it was just an app you downloaded on your TV?
Well, yeah. So you can do that now, can't you? So I think it would make more sense in a way.
I'm saying that's the future of Xbox.
Yeah, just to exit the hardware market completely.
Or just have something super ridiculously cheap as well as an option for someone who wants to buy it.
I think for me, the smartest thing they could do is just do a Sega and just fucking quit and just become a publisher.
Yeah.
I think honestly that's the smartest play ever because they got so many good IP and so many studios. Just do a Sega, but better than Sega.
The only issue with that though is then there's no one to rein PlayStation in. It's PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's it.
But
That's your only choice.
That's the
Until
reality
Apple,
now.
come into the market. I think you're going to find Apple. I think you're going to find Amazon. I think you're going to find those big tech companies coming into this market if Xbox vacate.
I think we'll
That
see
would
them
be my
try.
prediction.
I think we'll see them try. I don't know if it'll succeed. Apple making a console, fuck me. For one, it'd sell gangbusters. It would, but for two, it'd be 1,200 quid.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to imagine somebody else entering the space. Like it's really hard to imagine it. I know that, people were probably saying this when the PlayStation was first around the corner or when Microsoft first released the Xbox, right? And they thought, how can they possibly compete when you got Sega, Nintendo, and Sony ruling the roost, right? And they managed to carve a niche out, and they had a great generation in the 360. So you never know, man. Stranger things have happened. But I wonder what we're going to be talking, in 4 years' time, when we're in the next generation. The new Xbox hardware's out. The PlayStation 6 is out. And we're just like, what does that look like? Like, it's a weird thing. Think about it. Like, last generation, it was easy. Because you're like, right, you're going in, it's going to be much the same. Whereas this one now, Nintendo and PlayStation, yeah, you can bet your ass it's going to be much for muchness. But all eyes are on Xbox, really. It could go fucking anywhere. Couldn't it? I mean, like, just now, spitballing, we've thrown out, like, fucking 10 ideas for what they could do. From just exiting completely to not releasing hardware to just being stream only. I wonder how they make it all financially work. Is the big question.
I don't think there is one. I think the only thing they could possibly do is genuinely try to win the next war. Is release a new console and make games for it and try to win next gen. Because all they did was win the 360 gen and they were sorted for ages.
Yeah.
All you have to do is win one gen and you're set up.
Yeah.
So they just need to stop fucking thinking, oh, we've already won. Like they openly, I got leaked, I think, didn't it? This year, they had a massive email go around saying, we've done it. PS5 looks shit. And then fucking good one. Yeah. Lost by a fucking landslide. They just need to come in swinging next year, but they're not going to because they can't afford to.
It's mad, though, isn't it? When you got Daddy Microsoft there, who could just fucking splurge.
Buy any developer for you.
Just anyone. And they're just like, purse strings. Ain't happening. But I suppose like anything in it, like no matter how much money you got in the bank, at some point you got to rule it in. Like if you got a kid who's going out and buying fucking Bugattis left, right, and centre, even if you got fucking oil money, you're going to be like, do you know what? Maybe on that third Bugatti, maybe you should fucking go out and get a job. Like, stop spending all the money you don't fucking have. And I guess that's what's happened with Microsoft.
They just chose the wrong people to steer the ship.
Yeah.
I think with Microsoft, they had the right idea, they had the backing, and now Microsoft is tightening those purse strings because it's never worked. They've just chose the wrong people, and that's why I think a new tech giant coming in with some bold ideas, be that Apple, be that Amazon, is going to be the competition for the future. That's where I really believe it's going to go when Xbox does exit. But whatever Xbox does, they're going to be playing Helldivers too, so they're going to be happy.
Yeah, exactly right. And they
It's a great game.
Yeah,
It's a great game.
Yeah,
I'll look forward to them joining. All for Super Earth. The more numbers, the better. And apparently, all the newest updates have been fucking incredible, and we haven't checked them out yet.
Also, we haven't really spoke. So this isn't going to Game Pass, though, is it? They have to buy this.
They have to buy it, yeah.
Do you think it's going to sell?
This is the big litmus test, isn't it? Because nothing really sells.
I
over there.
don't think it'll sell at all.
No, they have.
I think the people that would buy it already have it on PC.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because as much as I say they don't buy games, there are a small minority that do, right? Who pay, and I think Lewis is one of these. Where like they'll pay the $70 or whatever, so they get like 48-hour early access or a week early access to the game, and then it comes out free on Game Pass like a week later or whatever. And there's people that do that, and it ends up charting, and gets inside the top 20s or top 10s of NPD that month. But there's not many of them that are doing that, and it's only a small portion of the overall pie anyway. So when you think of 28 million and maybe, I don't know, let's be nice, maybe 10 million buy games, right, on there of that 28 million that are on Xbox Game Pass. So you're saying like half, right? From that, how many of those don't own it somewhere else?
Yeah.
It's getting small, this pie. Very small. But we'll wait and see, man. If it shoots up the sales data in a couple of weeks, in a month or so's time, maybe we'll be having a different conversation. But I agree with you. I can't imagine it moving the needle too much.
What they need is Battlefield 6, because that'll shoot it up by 100 million players.
Exactly right. Shall we run the while we're in between recording this, we ran the numbers on this. Guess how many units the highest selling COD's ever sold? Phil, have a guess.
Well, if they're targeting 100 million, and I know they're off their mind crazy batshit, I'm going to go for half that.
Very close. 43 million is the highest COD's ever sold.
43. Yeah, that was close.
But what's their peak for concurrent players?
Oh, don't know.
Because that was the question. That was the actual thing.
Oh, look into that for next week, baby. Look into that for next week. And on that note, listeners, as much as our topic did move around quite a lot, how do you feel about Helldivers coming to Xbox in August? Are you on the same line as us, where we actually don't care, where we think it's a good thing that live service games are getting bolstered? Or are you on the doom and gloom parade? Let us know. Write into email ps3trust@gmail.com or hit us up on any of our socials, all of which are in the description of the show. And with that is the end of episode 117. Thank you ever so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next week to bring you 118. We're recording next Monday. So any questions or anything in the meantime, please write in, let us know. We will be talking on there about Ghost of Utah, the Direct. So that is one of the things that we will be talking about, but there's lots of other news as well that hasn't quite made it into this show. Let us know what you think. Let us know. I couldn't even say my words then. It was like think. It was like both together. Let us know what you think. Write in to that email. I was keeping it going. Cheers, everyone. I've been Davey.
Yeah, I've been Phil.
Yeah, I've been Spence.
Cheers all. Take care. See you next week.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace. In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. See ya. See ya, guys.